and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, and runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December, coming to tournament formats. Each season tiers. Professional, the Challenger series, the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency. Every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see one Master League, 3 Challenger series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the starter cups are now limited only 128 participants. Make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the starter one, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series. But there's no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom two contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the starter cups. Constantly try to establish dominance over the others. But at the end of the season, the bottom four teams are relegated to the Challenger series, while the top four play at finale for top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever X laptop for gamers that go to extremes.
Yes, indeed. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the ESL Premiership 2018 Summer Season's Master League. I'm your host, Khan, and as usual, joining me on this desk is none other than our esteemed analyst and of course, my co-host, Angela!
Wow. Thank you so much for that. It was brilliant. Yes, How are you?
I'm doing just about fine. Just fine. Like a lot of stuff happening in life. Which I'm pretty sure the Esports fraternity will know about soon. But it is not about me today.
Yeah.
It's about always the gamers. So since it's about the gamers, let them know. Let us let them know actually. How and why are they able to see us every day? It's because we have names backing us up. We have names like Omen by HP, Dell, who are supporting us as sponsors. People are not gaming and ESL India presenting it. Well, that's the reason. That's one of the reasons why we are coming to every day. At 6 p.m. IST. In fact, the other reason is because we love gaming, and we expect you guys. We expect you guys to be at par with our love. So for that reason alone, we have to tell you each time we come online that hey, why don't you do this thing? Subscribe, press that bell icon so that you don't miss any for the game. Simple. It's just a click for you. It's just daily stream for us. Of course, apart from sourcing out all the best teams for you guys to watch, fixing matches. It's just the view. So right now we're talking about Clash Royale. Followed by Counter-Strike Offensive, then DOTA. So let's start our Clash Royale today. Very interesting set of match.
Yes, it's going to be Prashant going up against Mehu. Prashant, fantastic, comes from Bangalore, but he has a very set gameplay in my opinion. He likes to play the golden, the collector, musketeers. Has always worked in his favour. Mehu on the other hand, he likes to go into a versatile kind of deck. Sometimes he plays the Hawk, sometimes he plays the Lava Loon, sometimes he even just goes Poison Graveyard.
And Mehu's got a very I like the use of the term versatile.
Yeah.
Because when you use the word versatile, he's sometimes aggressive. He's like a very moody Clash. One day he'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to throw everything I have. When I'm not going to throw anything. Let him come to me.
Yeah.
So that's Mehu. In fact, since we're talking about Mehu Mehta and Prashant, let's start off with the first person. Deepak Mehu Mehta. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Deepak Mehu for you all. And you want to add anything further to this guy? Or should we move?
He's a surprising fellow, but let's see Prashant.
All right, let's take a look at Prashant PP Pandey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Prashant PP Pandey for you guys. Angie?
Yeah, now that we're entering 35, I mean, we're almost got another days, I think. Yes, 35, we're going for 35 days. And that also means that we've finished most of our games for most players. Mehu, of course, got quite a few games remaining. We could just get standing
on let's have a look at
to see how well he's stuck at.
All right. Arpan reigning supreme in second position. BP. Third position. Mukul, our winter finale champion is at fifth. Sushila sixth. Now this game is literally the third place holder against a 12th place.
Yes.
And this is very unlike Deepak. So everybody who's joined us new, who recently that too, they should understand that. Just because Mehu has not won a single game, or I can't comment about Manmohan because I've not seen him before. I've seen Mehu play before. I've seen him throughout the course of last year's Premiership. This is very unlike him.
No, but more than that, I wouldn't really say that. I mean, Mehu phenomenal Clash Royale player in my terms. I mean, being in the top 12 itself is a very big deal. You have defeated starters, challenger, and then you made your way to Masters. And the Masters is a place where everybody comes up with very unconventional decks. Even if we talk about Seth, he sits like third on the board. He defeated Arpan, who sits on first, but then he got defeated from Sushil, who sits fourth on the board. So, you know, you never know which kind of player with the kind of game style kind of discounts you completely, because it's not the game or it's not the player, it's about the cards. And if your card or your set of cards, it's also about the player.
If you're like how would I say, Sutikshan for that part of matter, you would have a set strategy. Okay, I have like the into 2 elixir time period to do.
No, but that's again, that is just one of his strategies. It's not really dependent on that. At the end of the day, it all comes down to how well a player can play a set of cards. I mean, someone who picks up the lava alone, we will see that he'll completely lose the game because of it, while the other player will completely own the game because of it. The difference is the gameplay, what you paired this card with, what works in your favor, what doesn't work in your favor. And I think in the Masters League, every player is still trying to figure out what kind of deck are they comfortable with, because every single time you're playing a new opponent. True. And it's a complete new kind of strategy that you need to build towards it. And I think that is why Mehu is struggling a little bit.
And also I'm presuming you would agree with me, it's also got a lot to do with the fact that everybody is a good player, is a great player in the Masters.
Definitely.
I'm not taking anything away from the Challenger League players or the Starter Cup. Okay, I can't comment about Starter Cup. Challenger. Let's keep ourselves limited to Challenger there. I can't comment about all the Challenger League players. Some may be good, some may be absolutely talented. But Masters League, I've always maintained it, ladies and gentlemen. Masters League, for any game we present to you, whether be Clash Royale, Dota 2 or CS, it's just a tank of sharks, man. Like I always say, either you're a bunch of, either you metamorphosize into a bunch of piranhas and take down the shark.
Yeah.
Or either you just open your mouth like the big great white shark and just swallow up everything.
That is true.
That's literally the name of the game here. Any game. You look at any game. I mean, it doesn't matter. Be it CS. Like, remember the CS games, the Portal Esports versus Entity. You never know what's going to happen.
That's
true. So everything's so gosh darn unpredictable. I mean, look at these two players. A 500 trophy difference between both of them. What's really interesting is the fact that Prashant PP Pandey has more 3 crown victories than Mehu, for that point of matter. Knowing the fact that he's played more matches than him, definitely. But 3 crown victories matter a lot in my books, because I believe that it shows the kind of resilience you showcase to take the game forward. And coming from Prashant, whose favorite card is the Golem, and Deepak's Bandit, I think, Angie, I believe Golem is way too OP and he should get banned.
I think Deepak is going to go ahead and ban out the Golem. I mean, that would be one of his biggest worries.
It has happened. We have gained omniscience.
And as we see that, we also see first time Spell has been banned out by Prashant. Very interesting card. Actually, I want to talk about this one because we hardly see Spell cards being banned.
I hate this card.
The reason for the Frozen card to be banned out is it's devastating. It costs 6 elixir, yes, correct. But if you kind of know when to place it right, you can lose a whole tower one shot. If you have a hog running towards you and you just have 6 elixir to throw down that Frozen spell, your princess will still take down that hog because it lasts for 6.5 seconds.
Sure, it's not just the hog ride also. And if you look at it, this card cannot go wrong.
Correct.
For any kind of push you use this card, you can't go wrong with it.
No, you can. At times, what happens is if you like kind of
mispointed or misclicked.
No, if you kind of play a bunch of if you play a card and the Frozen spell is on the card, and then you deploy a card on top of the Frozen spell.
That won't be frozen. Yes.
Exactly. So, you know, it all comes down to how the players play the card.
But you've got to be smart. See, exactly. Everything needs to come with a certain amount of smartness to it. Right? I mean, it's for example, I'll give you a personal example. One of our production people, an editor, Saurav, when I play Clash Royale with him, even though he doesn't use the free spell, it's very interesting to know that he always laments about the fact, oh, why do I lose? I have the stone golem. I have so many crazy cards. He doesn't realize that in the spur of the moment, since he's in the heat of the battle, he does not realize that every card costs elixir. I don't care about what you throw at me. I care about the fact how much elixir you have remaining. Because if you have less elixir, like if you have nil elixir in your bank, I know that for the next couple of seconds, I'm going to be undeterred.
True.
I can lay down more troops than you. In that time, you try to like get as much of elixir as you want. And if you want to throw another golem at me, buddy, you will have to go like again 7 elixir. It's going to be like a long time till you get that golem. By that time, I would have probably even taken down, and that's why he loses. Yeah. I've explained the situation to him, and I think it's one of the most important things to know and understand about the game of Clash Royale for that point.
And also, as we talk about just the last ban card, I mean, I also know PP likes to play Three Musketeers quite a bit, and that could be one of the cards that could help him take this game. But if Mehu kind of continues to play his Hog Rider into a lava combo in one of the games, I think he has a good chance to at least take a few games off PP. Also, he needs the victories for himself.
Alright, so then let's head off into the game and see what's in store for us, ladies and gentlemen. This is Clash Royale Best of 5, casted by none other than my main man, Gotham Workaholic Workyo. Over to you, buddy.
Alright, here we go. Another day of Clash Royale casting, and I'm live with full force between PP and Mehu, the great two players of the Masters League. And an interesting ban coming out today. We've never seen a spell being banned here, and these guys must know something that we don't know about. Maybe PP just loves, or Mehudi just loves freeze. He loves the cold. He loves the winter that comes from Canada. There's a lot of snows. Or Delhi winters, you know, when we get randomly, we go from 50 degrees Celsius to, you know, -1, interestingly. But exciting match of Clash Royale ahead of us. We see PP going with he has a balloon. He also has a lava hound. But currently, considering just putting in the balloon up front, which will be distracted by the cannon card and frozen by the ice spirit there. So quite interesting stop to that big push on the left. However, will take some damage from death and will take some damage from that armored minion there. So Mega Minion doing some bringing in the heat. But on the right hand side, if you see, Mehudi was able to get a connect with his Hog Rider. And here comes the big push on the left from Prashant. Now the Lava Hound has made it to the main tower and he's pushing away. There's a lot of rage coming out left, right and center. Lava Hound has locked into the main tower, and so have the minions. Minions are doing a lot of DPS. Mega Minion also brings in a lot of DPS, and that tower is going to be quickly lost. This is going to be a quick game of Clash Royale here. Whereas we see the Lava Hound going for the main tower, followed by the balloon. If balloon hits the main tower, this is going to be GG. He's actually thinking of doing a counter attack on the right hand side. I don't think this is a really good strategy at the moment, because balloon will get 2 hits in and might get 3rd hit in also. Yes, this is a so well placed zap there by PP. He actually put a zap there, so the tower, the Princess Tower, actually redirects his shooting towards the other minions that were on the field, hence letting the balloon drop another bomb, and thereby pretty much finishing the game. 3-star victory for PP. He's taken 3 crowns in this game of best of 5. And we have a lot more games still to go, so not judging anyone, we still have plenty of games to go. This is the best of 5 of the ESL India Premiership Clash Royale. I want to take this time to talk about the sponsors. We have Omen by HP, HyperX, Intel, organized by Nordwind Gaming and ESL India. So let's get into this game 2 of this best of 5, and let's see if Mehudi can actually make a comeback. All right. Mehudi starting with an interesting deck. He has the Expo and has the Zap Tower. So he is going to be looking to lock down on one of those Princess Towers and bring a lot of damage in. However, Prashant has a decent card to counter against this, because he has the Giant. Giant will be able to absorb a lot of damage coming out of the Expo. So he will not be able to relocate his target over to the Princess Tower. So I don't understand how these guys are playing while throwing emojis left, right and center. This is quite interesting. Here comes the Giant right in front of the Expo. He's going to be targeting the Expo directly. Expo is not going to be doing its mission that it's allotted today. It's going to be taken down fairly quickly. However, the Giant brought down, so Mehudi doesn't have to worry about a Giant knocking on his door. However, what he does have to worry about is the Prince, which knocked down the tower on the left to 200 health. Mehudi clearly not happy about it, and showing it pretty well to both these guys. Are doing a lot of emojis right now. They've made this into this arcade game of Clash Royale, but the point is, we clearly understand the strategies on both sides, and I don't think Mehu will be able to close this game because Prashant just seems to have better units here. He's using the Giant and Double Prince combo, and I don't think in any case Prashant is going to let his opponent lock onto the tower, and there you go. We see a Giant coming down almost immediately. Will be tanking that Expo for quite some time, and will also be going ahead and punching that Expo away. And this is a fairly clean and straightforward victory for Prashant, and I don't see how Mehu is ever going to come back on this game because his opponent's towers are pretty much on full health. So, however, still some sliver of hope. Double elixir time has gone live now. 60 seconds left on the clock. The Dark Prince will be coming and boosting the Giant, will be giving him a lot of speed. Here comes the Fireball, but will still keep all the units alive. The Poison also comes out. Giant takes a few pot shots. So does the Prince. This tower is not looking in a good shape. And Prashant, look at the elixir lead that he has. He's clearly at a good footing right now, and I don't think there's anything that can stop him. The Giant should be coming up front. No, okay, there you go. He placed it a bit on the different side. Followed by a Mega Minion, lot of units coming in. Fireball also used. This tower somehow managed to survive, but again, look at the lead that Prashant has, and with that Poison, will be dropping few of these units down to pretty low health. Here comes the Expo, again immediately distracted by a few units here. So both princes are making their way over to finish this game. This is game 2 of best of 5, again going in favor of Prashant PP Pandey. This seems like this is gonna be a quick best of 3, my friends. All right, so let's see what does the game 3 and 4 hold for us. I wonder what's gonna happen. So best of 5, plenty of games. This is the Masters League. Those are top tier athletes are playing, and we are gonna see few changes in the deck here. Both these guys opting for a slightly different deck, are a bit more focused. Let's see if Mehu can get a victory. He has the Goblin Hut. He has an Electro Wizard. Prashant, on the other hand, is going for a very familiar deck, and we've been seeing a lot of this coming out. He has a Poison and a Zap, and a Log on top of that. We can see a Bandit so far, and we've seen a Musketeer also come out. Lot of emojis coming out. I think these guys are really good friends or something, so, because they've been going at it. Prashant not using the Poison here, by the way, and for some reason it's kind of holding on to his Elixir. I don't know if he's taking this game very seriously. Because he's taking some damage on his tower for no reason. A nice zap on the right, stopping the Electro Visit. Very well done by him. And we're going to see Prashant now trying to set up a big push there. He's dropped the Musketeers in the back. The Poison comes out, so does the Miner. Miner instantly taking out the Musketeer. Bandit will be coming out to defend against this push. Prashant still holding on to his Giant, not planning to reveal that anytime soon. Giant is still in the game now, aggressively placed. The Giant is in the game, and interestingly, the way these units were positioned, it was quite interesting to see how the Mega Minion actually did not start taking the hits from the tower first. It was actually the Giant who took the hit, so very well placed actually. I didn't understand how he was able to place the unit so close to the tower and not able to take that aggro. So maybe flying units have a slightly different action and reaction to the aggro, by the way. So nice defense there using the Musketeer. The game's been fairly slow paced right now. We're going to see how these guys are planning to close this. Again, Prashant leaking a lot of elixir there, holding on when not required to do so. So Giant is on the field. He's basically stacking units together now, and he's dropped down the Mega Minion, who will be helping him clean out any wild units running around. So Prashant does have a Poison available, which he's choosing not to use, which is quite interesting. And he's been tanking that elixir for some time, deciding very late to drop down the Poison here. I would say Prashant is maybe lagging badly or something like that, because I don't see any reason why he's performing so bad in this game here. So this is just a sad game to see right now because Prashant's always been ahead in Elixir. He's been always been trading pretty well. Now just randomly decides to leak all the Elixir and lose this game, bringing the score to 2-1 in favor of Mehu. Prashant, I'm guessing he lagged out in that game because clearly his reaction times were really bad, and it was just an easy win for Mehudi because from what it seemed like, Prashant had a decent hold on the game. I was not gonna say that Mehudi didn't have a decent hold on the game, but Prashant looked like he was in a good shape there. However, completely dropping that ball there and not putting any units down and constantly losing elixir there. Which just resulted in a very bad game of Clash Royale. This game 3 was clearly not something that we would call a good game. So let's see what the next game has in store for us of this Clash Royale game between Mehudi and PP Pandey. Alright, game 4 is now live, score 2-1. Prashant needs to win just a single game to close this best of 5. And Mehudi will now need to win 2 games in a row if he wants to win this best of 5 series. So Mehudi now opting for a deck which is the Lava Loon deck. We saw Balloon coming out and doing a good performance in the last game, so it'll be quite interesting to see how the Balloon fares out this time. We've seen a nice Nado coming out here, pulling the units away, and a very nice defense. I have to say that was a great defense by Prashant, stopping the Balloon in his track and coming out an elixir ahead. He is exactly 1 elixir ahead of his opponent. Now trying to force a reaction out of his opponent. He's dropped down the miner who will chip away at that tower. And the reaction, as you can see, are these cute little 3 butterflies, which we call the minions. The flying minions are coming in and will get a chip damage off on that tower also. So here we go. This is the last 2 games remaining, and PP needs to do something about this. He drops a building to distract that balloon. The balloon will be going in the wrong direction, will not even do death damage to the tower. So very well defended there on the right hand side. And guess what? Now an executioner is sitting in Mehudi's base, and he's going to be dropping a lot of damage on the tower. A poison also used offensively. This executioner is going to try and get some value out, however taken care of by those minions. Minions clear that out fairly decently. And pretty dead even game at the moment. Mehudi does have the answer to the the balloon, but does he have the answer to the lava hound, which has just come out in the field right now? And Prashant knows exactly what his opponents have. Mehudi sending that lava hound, and alongside he sends his thumbs up and his regards. So it's like the Lannisters send their regards with the thumbs up, basically. And here comes the executioner. He has the right unit to deal with this, but look at this. He's using that lava hound as a distraction while he pulls to the left hand side. A balloon will now be distracted by that Nado, will be pushed away from the tower. Great defense here. Executioner is still alive. The Dart Goblin still alive. The poison coming out, the miner coming out. They are going to be focusing on the tower at the bottom left. Prashant looks like he is going to be closing this game. 22 seconds left on the clock, and Prashant has the Nado if required, does not require to use it. The Zap Tower and the Princess Tower able to pull this together. Very well played by Prashant. The Fireball coming in, activating the King Tower. I think this is GG announcement by Mehudi. That Fireball was pretty much saying, hey, you know what, I've lost the game, it's okay. And this best of 5 going in favor of Mehudi. Great job. Sorry, Mehudi, what am I saying? PP. This round going in favor of Prashant Pandey. And he's closed this game with a 3-1 victory. Great final game. We got to see that. I was a little disappointed by that loss that PP put up on the board. It was absolutely unnecessary. I think he was lagging. I'm just going to give him the benefit of doubt. Maybe he was lagging. Maybe his mom or his girlfriend called while he was playing Clash Royale, because that was just a bad game. So, but Prashant still coming out on top. We saw a great final game coming out of him. So, good game and GG from my side. We have some great Counter-Strike matches coming up next, and then we have a great Dota 2 match coming up next also. So don't go anywhere, and we are going back to the studio to Vagish, Angela. Let's see what they have to say about this exciting game of Clash Royale. Anyways, good night and goodbye from me. And back to the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome everybody back again to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons Master League. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this game was an exact example of how you can be resilient enough and still reign supreme in a game of CR.
Yeah.
PP Pandey literally, as ek kahavat hai na, like play your cards right.
Yeah, that is true. It is just
Play your cards right. PP just did that.
Coming
Don't you
down
think?
to player cards, right? Exactly. I mean, if we look at the third game where we saw Mehu have a chance, he did play the P.E.K.K.A into the Miner, into the Goblin Hut, which worked for him very well against the Bandit Giant Zap Poison combo. Now, this is one of those games where, you know, he shouldn't have really changed his deck. It worked for him. And because of that, Prashant actually changed his deck completely into completely defensive control. He didn't even keep any aggressive card other than the Miner, which technically isn't even called that much of an aggressive card. It can be even used as a defensive card. And the problem that Mehu faced in the last game was he just had two heavy elixir cards, a balloon and a lava, and he had a choice to make that either you kind of defend, but he had no defense available. Like you mentioned, the power of elixir. That is basically where Mehu kind of just lost control, because if we look at Prashant's deck, he had everything between 3 to 5 elixir count. There was nothing really high on his deck, and that kind of just led him to always keep his defense very strong. And even though Mehu tried and tried, he tried the balloon, he tried the lava, he tried both separate, he tried both together, everything. A Tesla tower itself destroyed them. Now, I don't even consider Tesla tower that great a tower compared to an Inferno tower when it comes to a lava and a balloon. But he played his cards so well, and I think that's why he's actually sitting third on the board, because more than just having cards, it's about knowing how to play with any kind of deck in your hand. And Prashant time and again keeps showing that it doesn't matter what I have, I know how to play the cards because I know exactly how my opponent is going to play.
True. Couldn't agree with you more, Angie, on that. In fact, that ends our CR segment. In fact, before we head off into the DOTA segment, why am I repeating every single game's names twice? What is wrong with me, dude? I think my internal CD has a scratch like chicka. Let's bring up the standings. Let's see what's there for us first. All right, so Deepak Mehta loses 7 games in a row. PP moved to the 3rd position. He was already there, the 3rd position.
But more now, he kind of is with Sutikshan. He's tied with Sutikshan now, which is great.
Yeah. In terms of the matches played, yes, he has indeed. In fact, he's closing up.
An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you
He's closing in to Sutikshan Joshi.
digitally lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single-panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
That was beast. Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the land finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
This is the first ever Omen X laptop for gamers that go to extremes. Gear up with the machine designed for total domination and engineered for gaming in stunning 4K. Equipped with the latest Intel Core processors, it gives you the power to be relentless. With a 17.3-inch diagonal screen and desktop-class graphics, you get maximum performance to be victorious anywhere. With multiple fans and large exhaust vents, heat is transferred away from critical components for dynamic overclocking. Ramp up boot times, game loading, and overall system responsiveness with optional RAID 0 SSD configurability. An RGB LED backlit mechanical keyboard lets you program each individually lit key to create customized key maps that switch seamlessly between games. With 2.5mm travel and in-key rollover, you can take out your competition with more accuracy and precision. Designed for extreme immersion, DTS Headphone X technology comes built in for surround sound experience that puts you right in the middle of the action. With the addition of a VR headset, gamers can step inside a completely immersive world for an elevated gaming experience. Single panel access to key components makes serviceability and upgrading easy, so you won't be sidelined or held back on your road to supremacy. It has a brushed aluminum finish on an armor-like chassis. A jet fighter-like construction with hidden lift hinges ensures you're always at the ready. And with striking lighting effects and see-through window to components, others will know too. Unleash your fiercest gameplay anywhere with the extreme performance of the new Omen X laptop.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons Masters League. And I thought Angie was sitting here, and suddenly Angie's metamorphosized into somebody who has not been seen in the esports scene but only been heard for quite some time. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you none other than Ranjit Mamba Senior Patel.
Thanks a lot for such a wonderful introduction, Waki.
Suche moda bhai.
Are ekdam maja ach tere hu keu che hamare. I hope it was that way because I've been writing exams back and forth and
actually haven't heard you.
Huh?
People just heard you.
People have heard me at least for this season. I was on the desk for pretty much the entire season, the entire year last time. Post summer season finale, I was on the desk most of the times. But yeah, I've been casting few games. The last 2 weeks I haven't been able to cast as well because I have exams. I've had exams, but it's a pleasure to be here. It's been 40 days.
How many KTs have you got?
One.
Look at me in the eye. Don't look here and there.
I can't because you're wearing shades. I mean, I'm carrying my shades as well just to support you. But I might just put them on when I'm trying to predict.
Go for
it. Right now.
And you're holding them, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. This is too hard.
This makes us seem like Men in Black. All right. Yeah. One second. We should do this. Yeah, the president is moving. Yeah, please.
All right. Now you know what?
Let's.
Do you want to have the look at that team number 1 over here in question?
Yeah. All right. Let's start off with the first team here. Mamba. Let's start off with the first team here. Team Iyati. And ladies and gentlemen, that is Team Iyati there. Mamba, please activate yourself.
Are you mentioning certain things we talked about before we went live? All right. Don't do this to me, Vagish. Right, so, I mean, these guys have been around for quite a while. They're playing with the new lineup, though. You know, we've seen Badman move to Too Easy Gaming, and it's one of the things that is going to affect them badly because Badman has been one of the most consistent oppers in the country. I mean, I would not put him up along with the likes of Rix and Hunter, but I think he's pretty decent with the op. So, you know, him moving out is going to be a huge blow. But these guys have been around. They are promising. But the lineup is fairly new, and even though they are promising, they have not been able to put on the performances that we've all expected, and they are sitting on the 9th or the 10th position on the leaderboard right now. It's quite upsetting, to be very honest.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. In fact, let's take a look at the competition team, Portal Esports. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the team from next door, I'm talking about Portal Esports, belong to Pakistan, one of the premier teams of the country itself. Usually faces some ping issues, but this team has toppled over Entity.
These guys, I mean, you know, all right, so when we talk about individually skilled players, I just want to,
HSB?
I'm giving you like an example of what this team is like, because when we talk about Indian teams and individually skilled players, for example, take Brutality, we'd probably mention A-Star, Rix. These guys are very explosive individually, even though Venom and Uenta have been stepping up, but if you talk about individually, you know, up their players, I'd probably name A-Star, right? Imagine 5 of those players. In
5 A-stars.
5 A-stars. I mean, these guys have so nutty aims, right?
I don't know how Brutality passes through one day. The world can't tolerate one A-star. You talk about Brutality. And
no, I'm talking skill-wise, not the rest of the things. Nope, we're not going there. But
hey,
these
come
guys,
on, A-star is a buddy. He'll probably be watching the stream and be chuckling. Hey, what's up?
No, but honestly, these guys are so talented individually. I've seen their aim, and it just blows me away every single time. Because how can you be so consistent with the aim? Because, you know, when we talk about the pro circuit, we often say that aim is the last thing you should depend upon because it's a given when you're in the Masters League. It's supposed to be more of a mental game, but these guys, you know, they are...
Strategy.
Strategy is a completely different story for Portal Esports. These guys can out-aim even Too Easy. You know, we talk about Tito being such a god with the aim, but, you know, these guys are more than capable of out-aiming these guys as well.
I would like to see a Portal Esports versus, if there was a possibility of making this happen, a Nasri.
That might happen. I have that insider information. Might happen. I'm not sure.
You know that I also frequent the same how would I say servers where I overhear things.
The same servers.
I'm the guy who's not seen, but he hears everything, Mamba.
Oh yeah, it's quite evident you can't see though. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Alright, the jokes apart though, the reason why Vagish is wearing those shades and the reason why I'm carrying my shades as well is because
put them on.
I'm not putting them on again, no.
No, you put them on right now.
No.
Is this love you have for me? Is this support you have for me, Mamba?
Alright, fine.
So sad.
You know what? I'm gonna put these shades on just for the prediction bit because you know,
till we let go, till we head off into the game.
No. I'm not keeping them on.
The lights are very bright otherwise, but you look smart. And while we were discussing the smartless levels, which were migrating this side only, we'll move on to the game. So we have the map pick veto here. Okay, then it's a first. First of all, Cash has been picked up as the map which is going to be played upon today, whereas the bans first. Mirage, Train and Nuke got banned by Portal. Inferno, Overpass and Dust getting banned by Iyati. Pretty interesting pick there. I'm pretty sure Iyati can do some lasting damage to Portal, hopefully, because I believe Cash to be like a 50-50 map. Cash is like 50% aim, 50% strat.
And money management as well, which a lot of...
See, money management I've realized is for every game of...
a lot of maps, for example, take Inferno, right? Especially the old Inferno. Holding off Banana with pistols was so easy because it's literally just a tunnel, right?
Yeah, but now it's not.
Now it's not. It's still easy. We've seen Brutality lose out on a complete against ATE Gaming. This was before even, I think, Deathmaker joined. And it happens. Let's just be honest. Even though money and the guns are a really important part, but there are certain maps which FET likes to call it economy centric, right? Because these maps are so balanced that it all comes down to those minute, tiny decisions. And a map like Cash, banning Dust 2 was a no-brainer because no one has really played Dust 2. What I was surprised about was the fact that Portal Esports actually let Cash through, even though I'm fairly certain these guys have their strats on that map. But what I'm surprised about is the fact that because Indian teams, especially the lesser known Indian teams have been practicing Mirage, Cash and Inferno so much that it just makes it a little harder task for them, right? And you do not want to let a map which the other team would be comfortable with. But they let Dust2 and Cash through, and Dust2 was banned. And what is going to be interesting to see is if Iyati can actually show some sort of competition, because as much as I want this to be a close game, I don't see this going over 16-10.
So let's really take a look at the map. Let's quickly see what Cash is all about.
Cache, the remains of a Soviet weapons stockpile. This map rewards the team with mid control. Control the middle area and you can quickly rotate to either bomb site. PS, expect a lot of action over at middle.
Alright, well that's Cash for you. Okay, that's Cash for you. What's for me? Mamba.
No.
Sure.
It's a pretty decent watch.
Sure. I like the watch.
Come on, man.
Okay, on public forum.
No. You don't have to be one of the players, though. No, nothing like that is happening. But jokes apart, all right. Let's get back to the game now, because we've been fooling around.
Time is ticking.
It's been 40 days since ESL India Premiership has started. This is my first episode as the analyst, and Vagish just wants to fool around. I appreciate the. No, you know what, guys? We are actually going to head into the game. But before that, I just want to say, Vagish, I want to ask for your predictions.
Okay, so I'm kind of like in a mixed feeling kind of a situation, because I believe that Iyati can win this if they play the game right and tight, if you know what I mean.
Well, that would be any team if they can play right. If they
not against a team like Portal, not against a team like Entity. I'm talking about Iyati's strengths. I'm not talking about A team's strengths. I'm talking about Iyati's strengths. If they play to their strengths, they can win this game. Otherwise, I believe this is a Portal game altogether. But let's see. I'm not trying to be diplomatic.
I'm presuming 16-10, the max 16-12, but most likely below 16-10.
Let's see what happens. Adi and Fed are going to be casting this game. They're already shouting and screeching in my earphones. Let the games begin. So let the games begin.
Thank you, Vagish and Mamba. It is great to see Mamba back on the desk where he belongs. Does some great analysis for us. And Vagish, I have no idea why, what's with that mustache. But anyway, it's time for Portal Esports to take on Iyati. It's going to be the first time we see Portal Esports on Cash in the ESL India Premiership. And this is going to be Iyati's third outing. I'm Adi, and I'm joined by the ever-jovial Fed. Fed, how you doing, buddy?
I'm really ecstatic today. Finally, Cache, whatever. It's not Inferno, and I am happy. And it looks like it's going to be a mid-take, and they're going to be swinging towards the B bomb side Portal here. They're really playing on with the ping disadvantage, but never seemed to bother them that much, especially on the T side. And as you can see, Pokemonster gets the opening kill. The Molotov will get laid down. Paint is going to plant in the flames. And now he's just going to wait for the flames to die out. But it is a 4v5. Paint stuck in a really odd position. And in the meantime, Slowin has found Trans. The flank is coming in. Ego tags down Criminal down to 5 HP. But Pokemonster, he's got the opening 2 frags. And finally, Criminal does get taken on. Pokemonster is just not stopping. He is the Grim Reaper. And he's going to follow Bullet through the smoke. He's got no chill whatsoever. Feint picks up another kill. And now it's all down to Slowin, who finally put an end to Pokemonster's rampage. And Slowin, can he get the job done? He does have a kit, but no health remaining. Down he goes, and that's Portal Esports picking up the first pistol round.
Yeah, really fast round coming in by Portal Esports. They're rushing straight into the B-bomb site. And it was a decent hold as well. A little awkward there during the bomb plant, but they managed to play it out. And it was a good effort by Slowin as well. He did get 2 frags, but unfortunately not enough for them. And anyway, a little tidbit of information. The last 2 times Iyati has played this map, by the way. Once against Invictus, they lost 16-14. And once against Entity, where they got destroyed 16-6. So it's a bit of a suspect pickup by them, to be honest, because I mean, coming up, and that was very recently as well, by the way. It was just a few days ago. So it remains to be seen how their, you know, confidence is going into this map.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, Portal really needs to pick themselves up. They got destroyed on like Inferno by Malhar. They did try and mount a comeback, but it never looked like the game was out of Malhar Esports, like Malhar Gaming's or Team Malhar's control. And I think this will be a good change up. Portal have had enough of Inferno and Mirage. I'm assuming they would like to, you know, try something out differently in Cache. Cache is a much more economy-centric map, much like Inferno. So they have really flourished in such maps, the balanced maps, when it comes to, you know, their playstyle. And I like where Slowin's playing. They have forced it up. Slowin playing from within checkers, and Criminals might just get caught off guard. No, he won't. Pokemonster, ever aware, ever vigilant. And I like where Trans has been posted up. And I think at this point, Iyati should just be going for the eco. I mean, they should just be saving, not the eco. I mean, they should just be saving these armor, the pistol, and the scout, obviously, instead of going or forcing the issue with the retake. It's a 3v5 towards the B bomb side on Cache. Highly unlikely retake situation. Yeah, they should just be saving this at this point.
It does seem like Iyati is just setting up for the exits, but Bullet is going to be denied by Feint. And yeah, Slow in there, playing his hand a bit too early, getting a little antsy and peeking out. And that's not what you do. When you've gone unnoticed in the checker's position, right, behind the box, you just wait and wait and wait until the C4 has come in, and then you shoot them in the back. But unfortunately, little itchy trigger finger getting to him. And Veerbhadra does get a parting frag, but he's going to be taken down as well. Eagle. Ooh, just unfortunately for him, he can't chase down Pokemonster. And yeah, I mean, that's a good anti-eco by Portal Esports as well. They sent a scout into the B bomb site. Once they found out that it was clear, they got the C4 in, and they got it down, and they won the round. And it's going to be a full eco now, right, for Iyati. And I mean, I don't know. Unfortunately, I haven't got to see. Both of their games were off stream, by the way, the Cache games. So I haven't really seen their Cache. But I'm sure they have something in mind if they have let it go through in the Vita.
Yeah, and like, here's the thing. From all the games that I've seen Portal play, this much is for certain: they never come unprepared to a map. Like, the way they dismantled Entity Gaming on Mirage was just testament to the fact that even with the ping disadvantage, they are not a side to be trifled with. Slow and slowly peeking towards A-mains, catches Feint's shoulder, but not doing any damage whatsoever. In the meantime, HSB, he's in complete control of mains, and it looks like it is a stack towards the A-bomb site, and Pokemonster, he's gonna lay down the spray down and somehow manages to get the frag onto Ego, runs out of bullets, and Veerbhadra is able to put him out of his misery. But HSB, in the meantime, he's secured the fact that, yeah, mid is clear. Trans pushed all the way in towards B mains and into the B bomb site. He knows everything is squeaky clean towards the B bomb site, and Trans will get the headshot onto slots. That's going to leave Veerbhadra towards the B bomb site, making his way towards heaven. And Trans caught napping there a little bit, but there's Criminal to get the trade. And now Bullet, he's recovered the AK-47. He should now literally just look to save that and carry that to the next round, so at least one player has some utility. Because looking at the money, they're not, apart from Veerbhadra, who is going for the AWP, they're not going to have that much in terms of utility. Even Veerbhadra will not, because $2,400, that's what, 6,100, that's barely the AWP plus armor and maybe a flash and a smoke. So Iyati really need to save the 7, and by the looks of it, Feint not able to get the bullet, just might be able to.
That smoke though, it missed, and Bullet is gonna get taken down now. I'm pretty sure he looks the wrong way but somehow escapes, but he's gonna be trapped. He's gonna get hunted down, and that's a lot of economic damage, by the way, coming in. 3 players down for Portal Esports. Not exactly what the doctor ordered, considering Iyati did not force buy into that round at all. They just had that one pistol armor. And yeah, like you said, Veerbhadra is going on the op, but the utility isn't too bad, by the way. I like that 4 of the players have forgone the head armor, and they have gone for that smoke grenade. Iyati really needs to force the issue a little bit now. They need to take mid control, and they also need to take A main control. There is, like, as a CT, it's a lot like Inferno, this map. You need to take control of the choke points, otherwise you're in for a bad time, basically.
Yeah, and that's primarily why I like Cache as a map, that it is fairly balanced. Like, you can cut the map into, you have the options of doing fast plays towards the A or the B bomb site, just set executes, and obviously you have this more slow, methodical map control method. Something that, you know, not all maps allow you to do on either side. And Bullet is good for 1 kill, but in the meantime, Ego, he has to come all the way in from Highway, and he's just gonna get wrecked by Pokemonster.
That adjustment by Portal Esports was amazing. They just had one player in the A main position, knowing that it's the first gun round. Iyati is not really going to force buy into this, and they are trying to retake this, but it's a bit of a... It's... I don't know. I mean, it is now down to a 1v2 for Veerbhadra as he picks up 1 frag. But is he going to check Pokemonster? The answer is no. Pokemonster is even going to recover that up. The retake, honestly, it was a 3v5 at one point, so the retake should have been cancelled right then. And I really like that adjustment by Portal Esports, by the way. 1 smoke grenade, 1 flash into the A-bomb site, and 4 players burst out of the door. It's actually an eco round strat, by the way. That is generally done on like a force buy by terrorists. So it's a really nice adjustment to see it with the, you know, with the guns. It worked out for them.
Yeah, and the read was also spectacular coming out from Portal, because, you know, they know that Iyati having force bot into that round, and the fact that Veerbhadra really likes to get that op out as fast as possible. You know, they won't have that much in terms of utility, so that play actually worked out. But Trans, even on 300 ping, gets that opening pick somehow. How is he doing this?
Yep, Trans is having trouble with his VPN, but of course he is playing against just pistols and no armor right now, so maybe it's that. And wow, you could just see that he saw Sloan so late. It's just lucky for him that Sloan jumped there. And but yeah, I mean, I have no idea how he's playing at 300 MS. Oh my god, that's just absolutely heartbreaking. Maybe he should pay for his VPN instead of using the free services. Just a thought, just a thought. But Pokemonster is going to shoot Veerbhadra in the head. It's a flawless round finally coming in by PES, and yeah, I mean, now they can get their economy rolling, right? So it's going to be good. I mean,
they have a decent bit of bank built onto Nil and Trans, but you know, HSB, Feint, Pokemonster, they're there, but not quite. Like, they have another buy left in them should they lose this round, and Portal need to be a lot more careful this round considering the buy that's coming from Iyati. They have at least 4 players, have all the nades to play with, 3 kits, the off out onto Veerbhadra. Basically, this is Iyati's round to lose. They have to win this. And I like what again, Portal, it looks like they're going for that burst from Blue Doors. And it's a very curious setup from Iyati. They're going for the retake A on a buy round. I haven't seen this play put to use all that often against a fully bought opposition, because, you know, with the utility, it becomes nigh impossible to actually go in for a retake play. It comes a lot down to aim. But
Portal Esports doing basically exactly what they did in round number 4. They have 3 players coming out the door now after the Molotov. The smoke's gonna fade away. Criminal's gonna miss his shot. It's gonna land it through the wall there, but not doing enough damage. Slots does pick up a frag in the meanwhile. The Molotovs do come in, and the lurk by Trans has also been found out, by the way. There you go, Sloan is looking for him, and the plant hasn't come in yet due to the Molotov. It's suddenly slowed down. Nothing is happening. Nobody wants to show their hand. Finally, the plant's gonna come in now, and HSB's Super General Molotov, they're missing. But Bullet, is he gonna be able to do anything from this position? The answer is delayed at this point. Bullet though, Trans get a frag onto Criminal. He is going to be traded by HSB. Sloan gets a kill onto Feint as well. The retake is most definitely in now, but Trans with the TK onto HSB, but in the meanwhile, he also gets a collateral on Sloan. And the nade does come in. The defuse, though, has been stuck by Ego. And Veerbhadra and Ego just want to hightail it out of there. And they're going to be able to hold on to their weapons as well. Trans, unfortunately, with that 300 MS ping, not really able to close out that round for Portal Esports.
It's going to be very hard for Trans to be left in, you know, 1v1 or a 1vx clutch situation, because, like you said, his ping is severely limiting his ability to take those aggro peaks or do anything much at this point. And
I would send him first into the bomb site, by the way. I think that's the best thing to do because the hit reg, of course, on him is going to be a little screwed up for the CTs as well, right? Because but the aggression coming out by Iyati. Slowen is down, but HSB with a reply, but bullets there to put him down as well. Man advantage maintained for the counter-terrorists, and that is what you do in Cash. I love to see that A-main aggression. And now Iyati can fall back and just hold the bomb sites because they do have that 4-on-3 advantage.
Veerbhadra with the AWP. Trans. Oh, alright. Finally, the ping actually working in his favor. Veerbhadra taking a ton of damage thanks to that nade. And Trans, he's gonna win the duel against Ego. Man advantage neutralized. Criminal holds the angle, waits for the repeat from Veerbhadra, and Veerbhadra is put to bed. That's a little bit of wasted utility in my opinion. The double smoke towards CT spawn. But it is Slots and Bullet. Bullet, who's basically got 1 foot in the grave already. 10 HP. Feint gets Slots. He was the player with the HP, and now Bullet is in a world of trouble. Criminal with the AWP. But Trans, the unlikely hero of this round, on 300 ping, it doesn't phase him whatsoever. Gets the brace, has a masterful bait play towards Checkers to bait Veerbhadra out, and gets the win, and gets the very important win actually, because Iyati won the previous round with just 2 players surviving, which means they had to go all in to this round to get all the guns on the players, and now they've just been reset. Portal Esports looking like quite the tour de force.
Yep, that was a heartbreaking round for Iyati as well, with the man advantage, losing it in that sort of fashion, and especially because none of the B defenders could even get a frag. That's just heartbreaking for them. It's going to destroy their bank now. They have to go for a double eco, so they force spot into this round, and Slowen is already down as well. But I like this, the counter aggression from middle. They're just waiting, they're biding their time. If Bullet peeks out, he'll be able to spot the C4, and then Portal Esports may be in for a world of hurt.
It all comes down to timing at this point. Iyati have forced into this. They don't have a choice. It's double eco regardless. And look at HSB. I think Trans would have heard that mid aggression and seen quite a bit of it. He's down very low. And look at that HSB just mopping the floor with the 2 players who were boosted up. And now Veerbhadra, he's got to make a play. It's a 2v5. It's going to be very difficult for them to pull themselves back into this round. Criminal spots out Veerbhadra. And that's all she wrote for him.
Somehow, HSB being a god there. Just absolutely like 6th sense. He expected it when nobody would have, because I mean, who would expect that in like a pistol round, right? In a force buy or an eco. Why would they boost up middle? And but yeah, HSB just showing us how it's done. And yeah, Iyati is gonna have to eco into this round as well. They don't have much going into this, and Slowen is gonna try to hang on to as much of that $4,000 as possible, because he'll have to drop the op over to Veerbhadra, because you know, he likes having that op on him.
Yeah, and see, the thing is with that boost, right? Eco rounds or force buys, you have to seek the initiative. You can't be sitting back on your haunches and expecting the play to come to you, because then the T's will always have the advantage, or whichever team is the better armed team is gonna have the advantage. So it made sense, but what was crucial was the information transfer between Trans and... Oh, he's gonna spot 1 player, continues his spray. I really like how smartly Trans is utilizing his situation. He knows that he's at the disadvantage, and he's continuing his spray over and over, like, so that in case there's someone who's lurking, they walk into it and fall straight away. He's sure of his spray control. He is a very mechanically gifted player, and HSB there finds Slots. And yeah, Trans finds Ego. Okay, Trans is on a roll, and Bullet, he's getting mollied, he's getting smoked, he's getting peppered by bullets. And basically, he's being made extremely, extremely dead round after round. And look at the money right now. Trans, Adi, is at such a point in his economy that he is actually losing money for winning rounds.
Yep, that 16k cap really hurting him. I think he did drop over a gun, by the way, to HSB, so that was a bit smart. Or maybe the Pokemonster. So there you go. He is trying to, share the wealth, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, Portal Esports, they look like Abu Dhabi right now, not Pakistan. Their bank anyway. And the fast play coming out by Portal Esports now. It's going to be Trans finally leading the charge, but nope, HSB just walk in, get a frag. Trans is going to get the second one as well. Ego does get a trade finally on Trans. He's going to get a second as well, but that's been shut down by Feint at the B bomb side. again by a fast play from PES, has been absolutely lost.
And this is what I love about Portal Esports and what they're doing on Cash right now. Their read into the opponent's economy is so pristine that they know exactly what Iyati are planning to do and what they're going to be doing and how to counter it. Last time we saw Iyati on, you know, their first gun round after losing 2 in a row. That is after the pistol round.
Did they?
Portal, yeah, like Portal went
really
fast
go
A.
for that retake?
Yeah, they did. Which was
on a 2v3. What? All right then.
No, on a 2v3 with no utility. So
yeah, I was expecting the save, so I wasn't actually even looking at the map. I was looking at some stats, but anyway, yeah, you were saying. I'm so sorry for cutting you off.
I was just saying that the way Portal have been playing this right now, Iyati have taken a timeout. They really need it to get their heads back in the game. But Portal have been so smart. After the force by succeeding the pistol rounds, Portal went fast A. And this time, they've done the same, just they've switched the bomb sites, they've gone fast B. There's a very good reasoning for what Portal are doing. They know that Iyati don't have the utility to stop these rushes, and they do. So they're just going to overwhelm the defense with the flashes, the smokes, the molotovs, the nades, and the sheer numbers. CTs can't afford to put 5 players on a bomb site to counter a 5-man rush, or even a 4-man rush. They just can't afford that on a buy round. So they're just reading the game so well, and Iyati really need to change things up. And look at that, right off the bat, good utility usage. Bullet gets possibly the worst, you know, lap dance of his life. Down he goes in slow, and though gonna get the kill on a criminal, but I think he will get traded out. But Slow-in with the AWP, this can get dangerous for Trans, but looks away. Slow-in at the worst possible moment, and Trans, he doesn't care if he's on 300 ping. He's going to kill everybody.
Yeah, talking about ping, right? This really calls into question the side choice by Iyati, because we did mention on the other in a couple of the other games as well, right? Like when Portal Esports has such high ping, right? You want to actually force them towards the CD side, because you as a terrorist, it's much easier as a terrorist anyways to control the pace of the game and to control the peaks, right? And to be aggressive on the T side. And against you know, a CD side which has high pings, it's gonna work out in your favor. But Iyati winning the knife round, then going for the CT pick, it's just it's a little bit of a questionable decision, especially in a map like Cash, which is pretty even. But Veerbhadra finally for Iyati getting the first pick. I think it's the first time in a long time actually from since that A main aggression that Iyati has the man advantage.
Yeah, and the last time they had a man advantage, they actually managed to win the round. So hopefully they, Iyati, you know, after the timeout, they can find their way back towards winning ways. Because if they don't, this half and this game is gonna go way far out of reach. Like 10-5, if they manage to swing this, Iyati, it's still doable, considering that Portal are gonna be at a massive disadvantage because of their pings on their CT sides. But if they just let this Portal wrecking ball go unchecked, they might as well throw in the towel at this moment.
And I like this by Portal Esports. Again, they've lost the man advantage, so they're just gonna bunch up together and hit that B bomb site where they've had a lot of success. Veerbhadra uncharacteristically missing a shot. That gives Portal Esports an opportunity into this bomb site now. There you go. Veerbhadra has been taken down by Feint. Slow-in. He's lurking in the bomb site, but he's gonna be found out by Feint as well. They knew there was another player there, and that's another man advantage. That's another situation where Iyati had the man advantage absolutely thrown away.
Good God, how are they doing this? Iyati, they look completely out of sorts. It's like they have no read on the game whatsoever. And again, just like Inferno, I feel Cash is a map where CTs need to be making some info plays, doing something, taking some aggro peaks that late into the round. When you've not seen any action, I would have expected one of the A defenders to maybe pop flash their teammate into a squeaky or mains, just to check on, you know, what the setup is looking like. Because if you don't, you're always going to get caught off guard. And like Adi pointed out correctly, Portal making the right decision. They have the man disadvantage. They know that the opposition can't have put all their players on one side or even stacked at that point. Take a gamble, pick a side, all 4 of y'all, hit it with whatever remaining utility you've got. And that worked out so well in their favor.
And Portal Esports, unfortunately for them, they were on the hunt, but the hunt started a bit too late in my opinion. They should have taken those guns off of Iyati, and now Iyati is gonna force buy. They have to force buy into every single round now, because they really need to put the numbers on the scoreboard now. And Slots is gonna aggress. The boost is gonna come in from the terrorist side, and Slots is waiting for it. But again, it's a bunched up play. Slots, he's gonna get the frag onto HSB, not finding it, not checking for that position, but the trade comes in by Feint. And unfortunately for Slots, there was no second player on Iyati's side to trade out onto Feint. And that's a bit of a misplay, but at least it's still a 4v4.
I mean, yeah, man, at least the parity is maintained in terms of the numbers. And as I say that, Veerbhadra, he's taken matters into his own hands. I hope he finally wakes up, and there we go. This looks like it should be a round going the way of Iyati. Trance trying to do his best, does manage to land the headshot onto Ego, and Criminal gets bullet, but they've taken a lot of damage in this exchange.
That B defense. Just two players attacking it, but Veerbhadra with his second frag does manage to put some sort of control in Iyati's hands and slow in with the push as well. Is gonna, gonna get the frag on Criminal. And finally Iyati, after what has been 6 rounds on the trot for Portal Esports, they finally pick up their second round. And yeah, but that B defense, I mean, there's massive question marks about it at this point, from me at least. And yeah. I'm sure Mamba's gonna bring it up in the analysis as well.
And like the thing is, right, even though Iyati win their second round, it's at the cost of 3 players, which means again they're gonna have to buy everything under the sun, and they stand, at the precipice of being reset again for the final round of the first half, because it doesn't look like Portal are in any mood to let their feet off the pedal. And well, while HSB has timed out, look at the money that's on them. And I'm pretty sure HSB is somewhere around the 10k plus mark at this point, and they can easily buy into the next round regardless of the outcome of this one. So Iyati, not only do they need to win this one, they need to win this convincingly. That is keeping 4 or more players alive, so that they have a decent buy going into the final round of the first half. And again, as I said, 10-5, 11-4, still doable. 13-2, that's a psychological, like, you're battling this game on 2 different levels. Physically, that is with your mechanics, your skills, your strats, and psychologically, because the 13-2 scoreline just is so daunting a read. It affects your psyche, it affects your mental state of being.
And not just that, when you if you have only 2 rounds on either side, if you lose the pistol round, it's all over. And most of the times, unfortunately, pistol rounds have been a toss-up. It's more about luck than actually executes or skills or such. And yeah, I mean, if they lose the pistol, if you're 13-2 down and you lose the pistol, it's basically 16-2 right there. So that's the important part as well. That's why 4 rounds at least gives you that buffer. HSB though has timed out.
Yeah, and it's curious you brought the pistol round up, because I was just recently going through a couple of interviews, and I came across this one Stewie 2K interview back when he was in Cloud9, and he was talking about their Cash pistol specifically, because I think 3-4 months back when Cash was one of their strongest maps, Cloud9's, and how they would set up the pistol round. And this was back in the day when, Shroud and Nothing were still a part of the Cloud9 core. So what Stewie said was something very interesting. It's that Cash pistol rounds, now it's actually come down to aim. It doesn't really, matter if you're going for a retake setup or you're going for, any sort of fancy plays. He's just like, whatever you do, whatever setup you do decide to go with, at the end of the day, it'll come down to good aim. And I think he's right. Like, the way we've seen most of the pistol rounds, pan out in the ESL India Premiership so far, and you correctly pointed out, it's down to just someone hitting god tier shots left, right, and center.
Yep. Definitely, and we're going to get back into the game now. HSB has found his way back into the server, and it does look like Portal Esports are setting up for a full A execute. Or nope, never mind. They're just walking into the door again, just like the 4th round and the 6th round. They really like the strat, don't they?
Yeah, but
2 well-placed Molotovs, and it's completely going to be destroyed.
Exactly, and that's why, and I think they may have gotten their read wrong this time around, because, well, Pokemonster, he's gonna get completely annihilated, and there's a player in A mains, but what are these defenders doing? The way, the casualness with which Portal Esports is being allowed to just waltz into the bomb site and completely annihilate the defenders is just ridiculous. But Trans this time, well, he's going to get taken down, and now it's down to Feint and Criminal to hold off the incoming 3 defenders onto the A bomb site. That plant isn't technically for A main. It's not the best of plants, and Criminal is going to get caught out in the open, but he's going to get the kill somehow. And in the blink of an eye, Ace just slowing, trying to speed things up because he does have a kit, but he doesn't have health. He's 19 HP, and is he going to retreat? Yeah, he's out of there. He's like, alright, I'm gonna just try and salvage something. Apart from the round's done for, so it might as well save the gun armor and the flashbang and the kit.
Yeah, and I mean, Portal Esports with the perfect response there, by the way, to the A aggression. That setup is, of course, it's set up, you know, with the 3 players in the door. It's set up to punish that A main aggression, actually. And it works out because Iyati doesn't have the read, even though Portal Esports has done this to them thrice now. They didn't have that read. I mean, before going for that A main aggression, all they had to do was Molotov the door, and it would have been done for that entire PES attack. But instead, PES pick up the round, and it's a force buy in the final round coming in by Iyati. This looks very much like that dreaded 13-2 for Iyati, and even when things go right for them, they go oh so wrong. And Lots is going to be Molotov off his position. He's going to fall back. Slow in now, the solo defender towards the B bomb side. He has a lot of work. He needs to do a lot of work now. And this setup is just absolutely mind-boggling to me, considering how Iyati has lost the B bomb side so easily 2 or 3 times already in this half. Why is there just one defender sitting in the CD spawn? Well, yeah, at least they didn't lose the frag. But the B bomb site is basically like Inferno's B bomb site, where you can't really retake it. It's really, really hard.
And that too with just 1 nade, 1 kit, and well, hopes and dreams will only get you that far. And look at that HSD and Feint laying down the spray down, but somehow Ego with the CZ. It doesn't matter. Trans is there. Trans will bail you out because, curiously enough, with 328 ping, Trans is top fragging on the server.
Yeah,
just let that sink in.
Yeah, like I said, right, on the terrorist side, the ping can actually help you in a way if you know how to take advantage of it. I'm not saying that he has any sort of advantage. I'm saying it's massively disadvantageous. But if used correctly, like Trans is doing, it works. It can be made to work. And Portal Esports now, they're on the cusp of victory. 13-2, finally for them, honestly. Like, after losing to the Pune boys, Intensity Pune 5 on Inferno, after losing to the Bombay boys, well, the Bombay and Kolkata boys, Malhar Esports, or is it Bombay and Gulbarga? Anyway, the multinational, the multi-state Indian team, Malhar Esports, they need to finally get into winning ways. But Sloan, he has something else to say about that. He's going to take down Pokemonster. Feint's going to be overrun as well. Ego's going to get the frag. And the instant reply by Iyati is like, oh, you rush B? We're going to rush B too, my friend.
And again, that is what Iyati need to do for now 15 rounds in a row if they want to win this. Because, as you just saw, because of the ping difference, their reactions are going to be off. And at this level of skill, every millisecond counts. But as I say that, on the CT side, but
again, it's time for the CTs to retake and get slight advantage on the peaks, but it's not going to be allowed. Veerbhadra and Slots shutting down that 3v4 retake, or 3v5 was it retake, and they give Iyati a fighting chance in this game because they really needed to pick up that pistol round. And I really like this timeout coming in by Iyati as well. They know how important the anti-eco is.
I hope, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say that I hope that Portal Esports don't really go for broke and force into this round, but then seeing as how they've been playing this tournament so far, that's just hoping for a little too much. And again with the same thing, Trans picking up that UMP along with the armor and the 1 smoke. I would like it if, you know, someone picked up a kit. If you're gonna be investing so heavily, I'd rather see Trans with a deagle and a kit along with a helmet, because it is gonna be the second round, so you will be facing off against quite a number of SMGs. But looks like
the deagles on HSB and Pokemonster, they generally do a lot of damage. Sloan, he's taken his sweet time, and he's finally bought an AK without head armor on his. Oh no, he goes back to buy head armor now. Weird things.
Just Indian CSGO things.
Well, I wouldn't generalize. We do have some really good teams like Entity and Brutality and Invictus. Well, Invictus is sitting pretty right now, along with Entity. Although Entity just has one more game to go. They have 21 points in the bag and they are sitting in the second position. Invictus with 21 points and about 2 or 3 games left to go, also at 21 points in the top position. So I think they've done their job. I think they're safe for the LAN finale, actually. But now, a slower round, but it's gonna be the B bomb side again for Iyati, and they're gonna pop flash their way into the B bomb side. It's a good execute. Feint's gonna be taken down by Bullet. The headshot coming in, but it's not enough. HSB spamming that deagle into slots. He's gonna get the frag. 4v4 now, but Bullet is internally bleeding. The bomb plant is gonna come in as well. Veerbhadra is gonna get it, and the post-plant positions, that's what's very important right now. Iyati needs to spread out. They can't be trapped in the bomb site, and that's exactly what they've done. Bullet, in fact, is sitting in the safest position. He's just waiting for that backstab, which isn't forthcoming. And it does look like Portal Esports just wants to take these guns into the next round. They have invested very, very heavily into this. So they do want to save these weapons and into the third round of their CD side.
Criminal just channeling his inner Neo there, somehow managing to dodge that hail of fire through the shutter. And Iyati also not interested in going for the hunt. They know how deadly the boys from Portal Esports are with their eagles, their pistols, and on their anti-ecos, and on their force buys rather. And Iyati just wanting to secure their investment. They know they've lost one SMG. That's nothing really to write home about, nothing really to worry them that much, because they do have this round to make up for that. But I like the fact that Portal as a team went for the collective decision to eco and save when they did, and they're taking into this round quite a considerable amount of investment, especially those deagles and armor on Pokemonster and HSV. Those things can chew through your oppositions left, right, and center. Pokemonster though is going to get flashed and mollied off. He's going to be holding a slightly offish angle. Bullet spots the shadow. What a shot! But there again, instantly traded. Criminal not being able to peek out fast enough, but on the flip side, Trance has managed to get a kill onto Ego. He should be handing that AK back to HSB, but Trance is just feeling a little too, what's the word, selfish. Feint, look at that fact-finding mission.
He's sitting up on the top of the scoreboard, so you wouldn't fault him for holding on to that AK, and HSV is really deadly with the deagle anyway. And now 3v4 situation. Iyati coming into the B bomb site, but HSB with that deagle rips Veerbhadra's head off, but in turn, Sloan will rip his head off. And Trance coming in with that AK-47, showing us what he was doing in the first round, and all of a sudden slots in a 1v3. He's going to be taken down by Trance as well, and an unlikely round for PES to win, just off the back of three pistol armors basically. Well, 1 UMP and 2 deagles. They're going to win the round, and that's almost the final nail in the coffin for Iyati.
Am I reading this correctly, Adi? Does it say 3-2-8 on the left of Trance?
I'm sure that's a lie. It's like he's playing like he's playing a 3-ping.
Exactly. Like, how? It's like his brain is compensating for the lag that his body is experiencing. It is just really good mechanical CS being played.
And just as you say that, Sloan's flashbang.
Yeah. Curse of the commentator.
But Iyati, they do have the buy into this, and Veerbhadra has the SG553, the SIG, the Krieg, whatever you want to call it. This guy's feeling it, isn't he?
I mean, it is a very, very underrated gun. This gun has 100% first bullet accuracy rate. So if you're good with them one taps, if you can channel your inner scream, this is a really, really deadly weapon. Also, it has that one-shot headshot potential. So why not? I'm surprised more players don't go for it. For $3,000, it's actually not a bad buy.
Well, the AK is just better though.
Yeah, I mean, $300 is basically a smoke.
Yep.
So, but then this does come with the 2x scope, right? Or is this a 3x? I'll go with the 2x.
Well, the 3x scope has a very ugly reticle, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's
so
horrible.
let's say it's the 2x. Just a few PUBG references there, but Sloan, he's gonna peek out. Feint's gonna put him down. Iyati really favoring this B bomb side, but Portal Esports showing them how it's held. But Bullet will get the double entry. Feint at HSB falling a little bit cheaply there, I would say. And the B bomb side, has been relinquished, and Iyati is gonna get the bomb down. And again, their setup for the defense is really good, honestly. But the flashbangs coming in, Pokemonster and Criminal, and Pokemonster's gonna get 2 on the retake. Criminal's gonna get the last one as well, and the defuse is gonna come in as well. Iyati, everything's going for them. They had the good post-plant positions, they had everything. But Portal Esports, with a flawless retake, the flashbangs, everything is just on point for them right now, and it's 15-4. Iyati, because of the bomb plant, they're gonna be able to buy a little bit into this, at least one AK-47, a couple of UMPs, a splattering of utility, but that's about it. I mean, Portal Esports, it's just been a masterclass of how to play Cash.
I mean, you know, I was just reading through some of the comments in chat, and it's cute how people are trying to, you know, say that, you know, oh no, high ping is actually an advantage. I mean, in what world, Adi? In what world is playing with 300 ping an advantage? And there we go, Criminal through the smoke. Well, can we call him the smoke criminal, or is that now copyrighted?
Well, since his nickname is Criminal, we will let it slide, but Ego will get a frag on a Pokemonster. He does reduce the deficit by 1, but it is still 3v4 for Iyati, and they do have mid control, but Portal Esports, they're gonna peek out into this eventually, and there you go. Criminal does peek out, but he is taken out by Ego, who's ready for it. But Trans from the A bomb side, doesn't matter if he's playing with 300 ping, he's gonna get a frag, and now it's down to a 2v3 situation. It's just the trades are going in the favor of Portal Esports right now, and they're just whittling down this attack by Iyati.
And the most interesting part is that Portal is playing that numbers game to perfection. They get the early man advantage, and from that point onwards, they know that all they have to do is just trade. And they've been on point the entire game. Even when they were at the man disadvantage on their T side, they've never lost that little facet, the very basic facet of CS is that trade game. And look at that, HSB lands the headshot onto slots. And that's going to leave poor Ego all alone in a 1v3. And Trans is going to hammer the final nail into the coffin and then go out in a blaze of glory in his own Molotov. And that's Portal Esports completely dismantling Iyati 16-4 on Cash.
No, Vagish, no.
That's how amazing this game was.
Oh.
Drum roll.
I didn't really quite find it amazing, to be very honest. It was quite one-sided.
That's why I'm giving the drum roll for Portal Esports, because they're making.
I thought the drum roll was for me because I called it. It was going to be a one-sided affair.
It was for Portal Esports, who played exceptionally well, and also for the fact that the more exceptionally well they play, the easier it is for them and the faster it is for them to come over to our country, and then let's have a showdown. Okay.
So for some reason, Vagish seems really, really happy today. Is it because I'm here analyzing the game with you?
No.
Oh, dude.
It's also because of the fact that you're giving me that watch.
Oh, I'm not giving you that watch. That's not happening. But no, let's get back to the game. You know, there are certain things that I want to talk about. That Iyati in the early game did, you know, even though they lost out in the pistol round, and in the early game they had their anti-equals sorted at least, because you know this is something we've been criticizing pretty much every single Indian team for, except for maybe Entity. And you know, these guys did try, but you know, as the game progressed, it seemed like they were just a little too scared. I wouldn't even say they were giving away too much respect. They were just you know, straight out scared of Portal Esports because of the way they were playing. And props to Trans, if I'm not mistaken, was playing on 300 ping. You know, myself, if I was supposed to play in an ESL in a Premiership match, and if I had ping above 60, I see what you're doing there, because these guys cannot see you on the stream. But you know, it's just commendable the way he played on 300 ping as well. And Fred mentioned his brain was literally compensating for the lag. But one thing I really liked about Portal Esports was the fact. Can we have the center cam, please, so that we can be, because Vagish just keeps on doing something off the camera, which just throws me
I
off.
like bugging you, like you keep mentioning, oh, I've come here after like 40 days of not like being. Come on, welcome to the fun, buddy.
Thank you, buddy. But no, again, methodological play coming in from Portal Esports, it was pretty brilliant, and their B take was pretty nice, the way they were taking it, right? And again, Adi mentioned that I'd be talking about the B defense on Iyati, and he was pretty lackluster, to be very honest, because Veerbhadra was not hitting those shots. It's
very unlike VB for that point. VB brothers, Veerbhadra, Vagish, Bhan. Okay, beyond that, I totally agree with you. This was not a typical way Iyati performs. I've seen Iyati play last year also. I'm not saying that, oh my God, one day Iyati will wake up and they'll defeat Entity, which they can. I'm not taking that away from you. You can defeat Entity. It's
probably the next year.
Sure, next year, next season. Who knows? Who knows what side of the bed you've woken up on? See, that is not for me to decide. That is for the players themselves to bring it up inside them. Ki, acha, theek hai. Today is the day I'm going to have a showdown. Today is the day Entity gets losted by me.
See, as much as as much as I want to be easy on teams and I want to be fair to them in terms of the way they play, but we just have to be honest, right? We have to be honest about the fact that what is the skill difference between these guys. Entity Gaming have been around for donkey years, and the only way I see Entity Gaming being defeated by Vagish, you gotta solve that.
I'm just smiling. Okay, for everybody who's wondering what I'm doing, I'm just doing this.
No, he's doing much more than that. He's doing much more than that. But the only way Entity Gaming would probably go down against a team like Iyati is the fact that Iyati plays really well, and Entity Gaming is just having a straight out terrible day, Vagish.
No, indeed, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm so happy in seeing you here, Mamba. Like, I can't restrain my.
Do you want me to spill out your secret to the entire community?
You could, and no harm will be done.
All right.
You know why? You know why? Because the moment you spill out the beans, you know what happens?
What happens?
You should ask Kevin. When he got his Infinity Stone extracted from here.
That's not the kid. No.
Well, that's a kidney. You know what's in a kidney sometimes, the kind of stones.
Why are we discussing kidney problems over here? But let's just get done with the game. Like, no, I think so. It's either of these two things today. You're either really, really happy because of something that happened in your personal life, or you're just like so done with hosting so many tournaments and so many matches that your brain is just giving up. And I don't know.
My brain gave up, buddy. If you follow social media, you would know everybody believes it for a fact that my brain gave up on me long time ago.
Alright, can we have the league standings up on the screen as well? Because I cannot take this anymore.
Fine, we'll see the standings. Alright, so Invictus up top, Entity Gaming in the 2nd position, Team Brutality in the 3rd position, Iyati still at the 10th position. They're at 7 games. They've won 2. They've lost it 5. How can you lost it 5? Yeah? You jelly, bro. No, I'm just kidding. You still try to put up a good fight. I can't take that away from you boys. In fact, it's very interesting to see Portal Esports going up from the 6th place to the 4th position now. They're closer to the top 3 spot. In fact, Brutality, Invictus, and Entity Gaming, if these 4 teams are in the finale, take my money. I'm seeing it. I'm taking the balcony seats for this, because this showdown is going to be full of fireworks.
Well, that's true. If Portal Esports can manage to come down to India, that would be such a great thing. That would be a very, very big feat, because there are 2 things. Portal Esports have never played on LAN against Indian teams.
They've not come to India to play on LAN. In fact, if you remember, since you were here last year also we had Portal Esports also, if I'm not wrong. It was a Pakistani team.
It was a different. I think it was
a different team.
I forgot the name, but yeah.
But there was a Pakistani team, and they had qualified for the LAN finale, but they couldn't come because their government, the Pakistani government, didn't allow them a sports visa. It's sad when globally when you see esports athletes getting sports visas to travel everywhere because they're considered at par with traditional sports athletes. Pakistani government denied them the opportunity of them.
No, so
but again, if this was cricket, Nothing against cricket. But if this was cricket,
I mean,
boy, oh boy, everybody's going to be, aaj to match hoga, dekh lenge pitch pe.
I mean, I've seen that up close because my elder brother, my elder siblings are cricketers. So I've seen that disparity between cricket and esports. But that's just something that people will catch on to once they start noticing the efforts that we have been putting in as Norwegian Gaming, as ESL India Premiership as well, along with all of these guys, all of the sponsors who have been stepping in. A big shout out to these guys as well, because these are the guys who make these things possible, right?
True. And
once they start noticing the efforts and how big esports actually is, I think everything's going to change.
And you know what? It's a lot to do with the fact that it's not just about esports. I need to bring this to light. Mamba, you would agree with me here. A lot of people came to me in person and said, how can you support the Pakistani team? You are going against the country and stuff. Okay, let me make this clear. Let me make this very evidently clear. I belong to a country which worships cricket as a religion. I support my Indian national cricket team, sure, any time of the day. But when it comes to test cricket, I will always support the Pakistani team, because I'll tell you why. You don't want to face those guys on pitch when it comes to a test match. The kind of devastation they will met out to you in the first 100 overs, you would pray to your gods that, please let this stop. Let this stop. I'll lose. They're that good. And for any athlete, for any team, it's the sport that defines them, not their country. I love the sport. My opinion on their country is maybe I don't know, anything in the world. But for me, it's always a sports for them. Sports first. So that is why a lot of people, when they question me, why would you support Portal Esports? This is the reason why. They are a darn good team. You can't take that away from them. It's like me saying, oh, the sun doesn't rise in the east. Sorry, that's not factual. It is a fact. It's a great team. You can't take that away from them. In fact, the same thing holds for any other team, entity for that part of matter. Like, I'm pretty sure Portal Esports has spoken very highly of them. In fact, they invited them for an esports tourney in Pakistan. ऐसा नहीं है ना कि वहाँ पे entity के fans नहीं है. I see so many players on the chat. Or
as a matter of fact, I actually I got a message on my page today from one of the Pakistani fans from Portal Esports that he was really pleased by the fact that we've been supporting them so much.
Yeah, I mean, man, for the love of the sports, man, for the love of the sports. In fact, this brings us to the end of CS:GO. On the other side, we have DOTA lined up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right about back.
That was beast.
Game, record, and stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
The ESL India Premiership 2018 has 3 seasons: summer, fall, and winter. The summer season takes place from April to June, while the fall season runs from July to September. Finally, the winter season takes place from October to December. Coming to tournament formats, each season is divided into 3 tiers: the professional tier, the Master League; the semi-professional tier, the Challenger Series; the Open tier, the Starter Cups. Moving on to the frequency, every season in the ESL India Premiership 2018 will see 1 Master League, 3 Challenger Series, and 3 Starter Cups. The Masters League now hosts 12 teams and players. Meanwhile, the Challenger Series has 8 contestants and follows a double elimination format. Finally, the Starter Cups are now limited to only 128 participants, so make sure you register for the Premiership now. Once you register for the Starter Cup 1, you'll have to fight your way to the top. At the end of the phase, you will get promoted to the Challenger Series 1. You should try and maintain your position in the Challenger Series 1, 2, and 3. But this is no easy task. At the end of every phase, the bottom 2 contestants are dropped out. They are replaced by the top teams from the Starter Cups. Those who succeed in the Challenger Series are rewarded with promotion to the Master League. The top 4 teams will proceed to play in the next season's Masters League. Meanwhile, the Master League runs uninterrupted until the end of the season. The 12 champions will constantly try to establish their dominance over the others. But at the end of a season, the bottom 4 teams are relegated to the Challenger Series, while the top 4 play at the LAN finale for the top prize. ESL India Premiership 2018 begins in April. The registrations are on, so make sure you sign up now.
Welcome back to the studio segment of the ESL India Premiership Summer Seasons Master League.
Yes.
Oh,
Definitely.
Mamba, तुमको क्या हो गया? तुम वापस NG कब से बन गए?
I wish Mamba knew Dota, then he would have definitely joined you. But it was so great to have him in the studio today for a change.
Of course, for a change. But you know what? What's even better than this? It's our amazing sponsors, owned by HP, HyperX, and Intel, who are bringing you some quality esports while you guys sit right in your homes, in your couches, your chairs, your gaming chairs. Well, these guys are supporting the growth of esports. Not that we're taking anything away from you. If you wouldn't have watched this, how would esports grow in the first place?
That's true.
And of course, Nordwind Gaming, for that point of matter, who are presenting this to you. So kudos to them also, and to each and every single viewer. You know what? Let's do one better. Let's make it easier for you guys. Just press that subscribe button already. Press that bell icon button already. Come on, yaar. 35 days. 35th day, no, Angie?
35th day.
35th day. I don't listen to my parents when they say something to me for the first day, for the second day, for a week. 8th day, I know either it's me inside the house or either it's like me achieving escape velocity and escaping into stratosphere. Please, yaar, 35 दिन से बोल रहा हूँ. मतलब आज तो इज्जत रख लो भाई की. Moving on, we have an interesting game today. Like I said, we have Buriza Youth versus Cullies. Cullies lined up. So let's quickly start off with the team introductions first, Angie, because I'm pretty sure the athletes would be, I like calling them athletes, the athletes would be revved up to go. So let's quickly take a look at Buriza Youth first. All right, so that's Buriza Youth for you, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, Nikhil Pinto, one of the players for Buriza Youth. Okay, buddy, if anytime you see this, it's a direct question from me to you. No offense, just a plain simple question. Has anybody else before told you that you look like Sonu Sood? I need to get it out of my system, and I'm sorry.
Would it be strange if I tell you I don't even know who Sonu Sood
is? Sonu Sood is the guy who is the villain in Dabang.
Okay.
The other buffed up guy. Now you know who he is, right?
Kind of.
So doesn't he, okay, I need you to get this out of my system. I just think that you look like Sonu Sood. It's a compliment. He's a versatile actor. But moving on.
Alright, so while you're busy with the cosmetics, I will tell you the analysis of this team.
Hey, come on, the Arcana sells at the end of the day. It's his Arcana.
That's true. Buriza Youth, as of now, they sit fourth on the board. They've secured 12 points. They played about 7 games, but been able to secure victories only in 4. They like to play a very versatile kind of lineup. As of now, they play online. They don't really have a boot camp, but they're looking to see how far they're going to take it. Sitting fourth on the board is really interesting. I mean, I do like the idea that Buriza Youth is sitting on the 4th stage, but at the same time, Cullies is a team that they're playing against who sits on the 8th spot, but they have played half the games that Buriza Youth is played already.
So they have leg room.
Yeah, they have quite a bit of leg room. And Cullies, as a matter of fact, the last time they played a game was, I think, about 2-3 days ago, and that was their first loss they've faced, and the loss was against ROG Titans. Now, what surprised me about that game was the score line was 40-36 after 1 hour 5 minutes. So it's not like Cullies are just, oh, they're sitting on the 8th, let's be worried about them. I think they're a very, very strong team, and today they're going to be playing some crazy amount of DOTA 2 on the stage for us.
Yeah, so let's quickly take a look at the second team with the name you already know. Let's put faces to that name. Cullies. All right, that's Team Cullies for you guys. Let me take this opportunity on this podium to once again reiterate the fact, irrespective of game, all teams deserve, who are in the Masters League, deserve to be there. Not taking anything away from them just because they're on the 8th position.
Yeah,
like
no, I just wanted to say that this is a pretty even match for me. I mean, even though it's a 4th versus the 8th spot, I don't think going into this game we're going to have like, oh, you know, they're sitting so low, they're just you know, trying to stay in the Masters League. No, I don't think so. Cullies is a reckoning force, even if they sit on the 8th spot. Buriza Youth having 4 victories to themselves itself says that they are already a pro team, and to see them sitting on the 4th spot means they were already qualified for the LAN finale. If they continue winning, better for them, greater for them, more points for them. But Cullies still got to make a big change if they want to really reach the 4th spot, and that's the challenge that these two teams will have in common in this matchup.
Indeed. Well, that's Team Cullies for you guys. In fact, let's quickly take a look at the draft, I'm presuming. It should be ready by now. So let's quickly take a look at the draft here. 3 bans already. Earth, Spirit and Phoenix getting banned by Buriza Youth, whereas Sand King getting banned by Cullies. They're waiting to ban the second hero.
Buriza has done their homework on Cullies. Now, Cullies, all their 3 victories, they've had the Phoenix and the Earth Spirit. So, banning them out, good work coming in there. That also says that Cullies still have their favorites if they still want to pick it up. They do like the Monkey King quite a bit. Also, the Viper for the mid lane. So, if Cullies want to go with that, it's a good option. Cullies, meanwhile, deciding to ban out the Tusker and the Lifestealer.
And Buriza has gone ahead and banned Nyx.
That means Buriza Youth are the first ones to pick on this board. They could opt to go for their carry as the first pick, and that's a very good pickup. I mean, the Juggernaut fares well in any kind of lineup. If you put him, he gets his farm up and running. He kind of can devastate any kind of lineup. And to go with that Juggernaut, they could even drop in their Witch Doctor if they like. But it's going to be Cullies now who are going to pick up next and going to take some time with this pick. Their favorite picks have been out of the box, so they got to be a little careful on what they want to showcase here. They could opt to pick the Disruptor, as a matter of fact, if they want to really just show their supports as of now. But that also puts them in a situation that if you kind of show your supports, more of your carries can get banned off in the second phase, and you really don't want that. So is Cullies going to really take this chance of picking their best hero first, or are they just going to show their supports first? We'll find out very shortly. For now, even the Ancient Apparition and other support who's become very, very famous is still in the pot. We still have Leshrac open if Cullies decide to play that. Taking a lot of time with this pick.
I don't know. I'm thinking Cullies could do well with the QOP here.
They could go for the QOP. They could also go for the OD because
OD's not been banned
yes.
yet. Yes,
And
yes.
if the
Even
OD
Night
gets
Stalker
banned,
has not been banned yet.
definitely. I mean, I'm not.
The options are open. Like
The options are the 127 heroes in Dota 2, and if you're good at a hero, it doesn't really matter who you're up against.
You remember the good old days when Dota 1 used to be there?
And as you talk about the Night Stalker, Cullies is going to secure that first pick for them.
And follow it of the Bat Rider.
Bat Rider. So I do like this combo because most of the teams have forgotten how powerful the Bat Rider really can be. And being in the off lane, he fares really well against that Juggernaut. He can actually lasso through anything. He's not going to let that Juggernaut TP. So split push coming in from Buriza, you can completely get wrecked as long as they have the Bat Rider on their side. Also with the Night Stalker, we have the vision that's going to be completely impaired, like we've spoken about this before. And that leaves Buriza Youth to gotta be a little careful with their pickups. They've decided to go with the Shadow Shaman as of now, a good 5th role support, but a little too squishy in my terms. Against a hero like Night Stalker, I think
they need more tank on their side. I believe Buriza Youth could do well with more strength heroes on their roster here. Unless and until they want to, they could really take the fact that, hey, a Spectre could have been taken. They could do with the Spectre and take it late game.
But then again, picking up the Spectre comes with a lot of risk because if you don't get those basic items on the Spectre,
and
which Cullies is not going to really allow.
Yeah, because Spectre is mostly for the late game, if I'm not wrong, right?
She's more of like a 25-30 minute later game hero. So, I mean, in today's meta, the problem is that either you finish the game in the first 25 minutes or you're going to play a 1 hour game. There is no in-between scenario that hardly occurs. So, because of that, I mean, all the teams have to be really careful of their choices. What seems really interesting and totally OP in the first 20 minutes of the game may be completely useless in the next 30 minutes of the game. And as we speak of that, the Viper gets another ban.
Whereas Beastmaster and OD.
Wow, these teams are getting tight here on their pickups and bans. And 4 minutes, 4 seconds on the clock, 2 seconds actually. Last ban for us to see what Buriza Youth wants to not see Cullies play. And they're going to take some time. The Gyrocopter also still available as of now if they want to pick that up. I could also see a Queen of Pain, like you mentioned, in the mid lane. The Queen of Pain and the Puck, as a matter of fact, are still not getting banned here.
QOP's there.
Even the Templar Assassin, as a matter of fact, she has come back into the meta very strong.
I'm just running over the list of heroes who could do a very good mid for them.
They kind of even could go, I mean, Buriza Youth out of the hat. I mean, you could even go for a Vengeful Spirit because it kind of cancels out Bat Rider's lasso. It also helps against a Night Stalker if your Juggernaut's in a little bit struggle. So, I mean, since it's not banned out, they can still opt to go for that as a secondary support. Also, she is pretty tanky, I feel, if you build the right items on her. So, I could see them go that. But for now, Buriza Youth going to ban out the Tinker. The worrisome question for me is, are they worried that Cullies will be able to defend the push Buriza Youth bring to them? And I already see Cullies can do that. They have the Bat Rider, they have the Night Stalker, a Shadow Shaman, the Juggernaut need much more backup. And that could also mean even a Centaur War Runner. But Cullies is going to go with their safe bet pick. It's going to be the Ancient Apparition coming in for them. Now that cuts down on Buriza Youth in 2 ways. First of all, they don't really get the heal they require. Secondly, there's going to be 1 less hero to kill on the map. And that means you only have a Night Stalker who is basically your food. And as a support, I'm guessing that's a 5th role, Ancient Apparition. He's just going to be at the base giving the best ice blast you've ever seen. So Buriza Youth got to be a little careful here. Shadow Shaman got to be even more careful. This third pickup for Buriza Youth is going to be mostly a deciding pick for them.
The Buriza Youth has gone ahead with Abaddon. I was just about to say they could have gone with the Syllabare.
They could also opt to go for Syllabare, but that hero is a little mechanically very strong. So if you have somebody who doesn't know how to play him properly, he can actually be a...
I'm pretty sure Buriza Youth would have
I think they have somebody,
Syllabare.
But it also means that you have a Juggernaut and a Lone Druid who's constantly farming. So who kind of takes the fights for you?
Sure.
And Buriza Youth, I look at the draft, I can also say that a Jakiro for them could work pretty fine. It could be a 4th role Jakiro, Shadow Shaman for the wards, but Cullies is going to fit that DK into
their draft. They got their HP and their strength right up to the boot. They got a DK. They have a Balanar there. Oh, I'm going to call him Balanar. He's always going to be Balanar for me. But again, this is way too much HP. Like, this is going to be some interesting game because if Buriza Youth does not finish this game soon enough, they are going to have a lot of trouble pulling off that DK late
I mean, even if the 20-minute mark is considered, a Night Stalker, a Bat Rider are 2 heroes that can, once they get once the Batrider gets his Blink Dragger, he's going to be just ganking around the map with the Night Stalker, and it's going to be an Ancient Blast coming from base. So from the 15-minute mark, Buriza Youth got to be very careful. They got to make sure that Juggernaut is very, very farmed. The Abbot, on the other hand, he's going to be in the off lane. It's not the really best lane for him to be in, but he can survive. He will be alive. That also means that, you know, Buriza Youth have to take this game late. Now the question is, do Cullies, looking at the draft, I don't think it's going late, because it's a Shadow Shaman who wants to really push with that Juggernaut and the Abaddon. The Abaddon is very strong at about 25 minutes into the game, but if you take it to a 45-minute mark, he kind of stops losing his momentum, because other heroes just kind of make a Yules. There's so many ways to kind of just decapitate him, and that's what I see Cullies ending up doing. But as we speak of that, Buriza Youth gonna pick up that Vengeful Spirit. Works very well
one of my
for
favorite
them.
heroes.
Yeah, beautiful hero. Whether played as a carry, played as 4th role, played as 5th role, I think Vengeful Spirit fits really well for them. Also, that could be their saving grace, because that's what Buriza Youth needs to be very careful of. Of course, the armor reduction also playing in well for Buriza Youth. I could also add to this that as they finish this draft, they are looking to pick up their mid lane Hino, and they need somebody who can really tank everything that's coming from Cullies. A DK plus Night Stalker is going to be awfully bad unless they're very
this is going to be a bloodbath
mid
lane. I can see it already happening. Too much of death and destruction. Banshee's been banned by Cullies. They don't want a mid lane getting picked up by Buriza easily.
The Shadow Fiend's still up there for Buriza. They also have the Queen of Pain. They like to play that hero. Also, the burst coming in from the Queen of Pain could work a lot in their favor. But they're still looking to ban their last hero.
And then Morphling.
The interesting draft. I like to see a variety of heroes over here. I do like that. The TK is new for us. The Batrider is new. The Ancient is new. The Vengeful.
The Batrider is definitely new. In fact, I have not seen much of a bad in there for that point of matter. I've seen Morphling in action. I'd like to see more, and I think he could be well utilized in this game.
By Cullies?
By Cullies.
I think that's a beautiful pickup. I mean, if they do send the DK in the mid lane and the Batrider in the off lane, the Morphling could may as well go in the safe lane. That also opens up quarters to
like
the
there are
Gyrocopter.
opportunities which will open up, because the strength AG shift for Morphling is instantaneously devastating for the opposition.
The Morphling, or even as everybody likes, the Gyrocopter, but Buriza Youth still doing their homework really, really well. They have watched the ROG Titans game. I can confirm that for you. And MK, being Cullies' favorite pickup, gonna get a ban over there. Of course, would have fit pretty well in my aspect in the draft. They have the Night Stalker cutting out complete vision for Buriza Youth, and they have the Monkey who's kind of giving them so much more vision than required. And I think if they had picked it up before the DK, they would have worked very well in their draft. But
I think the DK is also a pretty nice pick altogether. The regen and the level 3 ultimate works so well late game.
True.
I mean, the BKB has a cool it's got reduced cooldown, right?
The BKB now goes. Yeah, it's a normal cooldown. It's
did I say reduced cooldown? I'm so sorry. What is this thing called? The duration for the BKB reduces.
Yeah, every time you use it.
Exactly. So you
Oh, I like that. I was confused between the Luna and the Gyro, and it's going to be Cullies sending out the burst of damage from that Luna. Now, Luna and Night Stalker, beautiful combo for them. Batrider, Ancient Apparition, beautiful combo. DK to tank everything. Cullies is set in their draft. If you look at Buriza, they have Juggernaut, Shadow Shaman, Abaddon, Vengeful Spirit, and Shadow Fiend. I mean, their draft also looks pretty interesting to me. Shadow Fiend, of course, got to be a little careful in the mid lane, but I think this game could go for quite a while. If these picks are the way they are, at least we could see like a 45-minute game.
Well, if it is the way you are telling me it is going to be, Angie, then let's, without wasting any further time, let's quickly take it forward into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to be beginning the game of the day, the final game of the day, Dota 2, Buriza Youth versus Cullies.
Ladies and gentlemen, Devi or Sanjano, Bhayo or Bheno, welcome back to ESL India Premiership summer season. My name is Floki, joining me is Vivek, and we are bringing you Cullies versus Team Buriza Youth. How are you doing, Vivek? How's it going?
I am doing good. I'm doing really good.
Did you just win your pub match? Did you gain like 50 MMR?
No, I got the battle pass.
That
I
explains
spent a
it.
lot of money. I have mixed feelings. I am partially guilty but partially happy at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Can you
Uh,
elaborate on that feeling a bit more?
I mean, I don't know. This is my second day buying the Bal Pass. Just happy to get it. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. Quick look at the draft. What do you feel?
So I just want to say in chat, remember I told you a couple of heroes and I mean they pick exactly from that.
Hmm.
So it was either the Ember or the SF for Cullies. SF gives them a bit of a lane advantage because SF, once he has a few levels, he's gonna have a lot of kill potential on the Dragon Knight all by himself.
Hmm.
Top lane,
Yep.
you might be seeing a bit of a skirmish here. The Batrider's gonna get shackled up. Awakening is just spinning away from the fight, doesn't want any of this. Pawn, on the other hand, he may not be so lucky. He has a few stacks of napalm on him. The Void is gonna slow him down as well, and with the chilling touch, they will find the first blood. Going the
Yep.
way of HN6, Cullies pick it up. But on the back lines, Misery Signals, he actually managed to steal the bounty rune. So, well, Team Buriza Youth, they have that going for themselves. And he's heading towards the mid lane where he might try to snipe the courier. So Vivek, while
Up
he
top,
does his
Batrider.
shenanigans... Oh, what's...
Oh, okay. No, my bad.
Yeah, it's alright. Well, whose draft do you prefer more and why?
Uh, I mean, I haven't really put much thought into it. I'm still looking at some aspects of our camera control, just trying to get that fixed. Um,
I think it's me on the camera control.
it is you. We had a couple of hiccups the last time around. Hopefully this time it will be smooth sailing. You did call out parts of this draft. You did call out the SF pick. Was it because of the bench?
Not really. I mean, SF, when you think about Dragon Knight, you already picked that hero, so you ideally want to pick something that either draws even or punishes the Dragon Knight. Shadow Fiend is one of those heroes that punishes Dragon Knight. Ember Spirit somewhat draws even, but once he hits that mid-game timing, he is so useful for his team. Shadow Fiend, on the other hand, is quite a strong and stable carry, which I think would go really well with what Buriza are trying to do. They want to take early skirmishes and they want to translate that into objectives. And which better hero to pick up than Shadow Fiend to do that for yourselves? I mean, you look at the lineup. I mean, all those other heroes that generally push out in the mid lane were banned out. They banned out the DP, so the DP was out of the question. And pick up the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is also really good against Luna once he hits a certain timing. Has a lot of damage to output on Luna and. All these heroes on the side of Cullies are pretty low armor, except for the Dragon Knight, so he's gonna have the presence of the Dark Lord working to his favor.
Okay. I'm gonna have to restart my Dota a bit, simply because I really have no control over the camera. So even though you got the camera control, I mean you got the camera control covered, but I can't see anything other than what you're saying. So I'm just gonna quickly reconnect. How do you think the lanes are gonna pan out?
So I think the lanes, well, I want to say that the lanes are going to favor to some extent Buriza Youth. I think what Cullies are trying to do is somewhat greedy in terms of XP. Like, ideally, you don't really have a lot of how can I say this? I mean, when you look at Night Stalker, you look at Batrider, all these heroes are heroes that want levels. When you're dual laning top like this, you're not likely to find those levels very quickly, especially when the enemy carries compete and that is denying you multiple creeps. Also, the fact that they have a tri-lane against them is another big crucial factor because they're going to be able to pick up kills, while Cullies are going to have to wait for them to dive. And look at this, Night Stalker in the top lane is probably going to be in trouble. Jug is going to use a spin, but Falling is a tanky beast. Has a salve, has tango, so it's going to be okay. Misery Signals might just end up falling here, but looks like it's going to be Pawn instead, who had a bit too many napalm stacks on him and does end up going down to the Firefly. And now 6 stacks in the Vengeful Spirit. This guy is still going forward on his Batrider. You can't beat it, that's what his name is. But Falling slowly on the backline is trying to go onto Misery Signals, but Pawn is here. Awakening doesn't have spin for another 16 seconds, so can't really punish that, but they still might just get the kill with the right clicks here. Shadow Shaman, well, his right clicks do hurt at level 1, 77 base damage, and looks like the Batrider might be in some trouble now. There is a stun available from the Vengeful Spirit, and she is going to find it, and as a result, the Batrider ends up dropping. While all this was happening, I mean, the mid lane it's starting to tilt slowly and surely towards the Shadow Fiend. Rizel might be in some trouble, has Fairy Fire, and is going to pop it and be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key play up top was Venge, firstly starting with Mangoes. which you don't see too often on the 5 or 4 position range. I don't even know what position this range is. So just having that mango is was rather key, and that really allowed Wenge to find that kill on onto the battle item. I think this is a common issue with with I don't know, when you're running side lanes, you want to go in, save your teammate. The Batrider went in, tried to keep the Night Stalker alive, and instead bought enough time for Awakening to get the Blade Fury and find the kill.
Okay, that's quite an in-depth explanation there, Vivek. Thanks for that. Well, looks like in the mid lane there was an attempt onto Shadow Fiend's life, but he did have a TP, and since there was only one stun that is on the Void to cancel TPs, it was used, he TP'd out safely. Top lane, you can't beat it, might be in some trouble, falling slowly though, has a silence, so looks like it's gonna be the Cullies who are gonna be making the aggressive move, but they are fighting into a Juggernaut with a healing ward. He also has a spin available to him and is gonna pop it now, but it's only level 1. It's not a level 2 spin, so it's actually not gonna deal that much damage, and now, falling slowly might just turn around onto Awakening. Awakening might be in some trouble here. Napalm stacks upon him, being chased by the Batrider. Hell, even Etch and 6 TPs in, and looks like they will pick up the kill on the Jug. But the backlines, Shadow Shaman is just trying to run away from this beast of a Night Stalker, but he may not be able to get away. Does have the shackle, could turn around, but looks like Night Stalker will give up. Meanwhile, mid lane, Misery Signals, dies, rotates mid, and helps anytime now secure a kill on the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I got that. 2 points in the Magic Missile, the Wave of Terror as well. 3 points in the Races. They've got enough damage between them to just burst through that Dragon's Blood. Up top, Night Stalker, knowing his limits, not chasing the Shaman under his own tower, not giving him that opportunity to turn around, get the Shackles, and at least deal some damage to the Night Stalker, maybe even find the kill. Who knows? But, again, we've spoken about this. Angela's brought this up as well. I mean, a lot of teams are running lanes, are running a dual lane in their off lane. And you gotta have the right blend of supports just to deal with that dual lane. And you gotta be careful about the kind of 5 positions that you're picking up.
Hold that thought. Bottom lane, Banshee might be in some trouble. It's gonna get turned around by Zeal, and Zeal is able to find the kill with the right clicks. Night Stalker with a timely rotation, securing a kill for her Luna.
I think Cullies have also switched up their roles to some extent. I remember casting Cullies versus RG Titans, and it was falling slowly on the 1 position Monkey King. This time he's playing the 4 position Night Stalker, and it's working. It's working for the side of Cullies. They're gonna find the Shaman as well.
Oh, where's the Shaman? Okay, he is over there, and he's gonna end up falling. You can't beat it on this top lane. He's had an okay time, in fact. I think he's had a great time, to be honest. He's 2-1-2 on his Batrider, and this might be a bit troublesome for Buriza Youth if he manages to get those early drums. Brings in a lot of aggressive potential that Buriza Youth could have a hard time dealing
mid lane?
Yeah, mid lane, I am watching it, so falling slowly. He's gonna get a bit aggressive onto the Shadow Fiend, but on the back lines, Rizel is gonna get shackled up. Misery Signals has a stun, but Shadow Fiend doesn't have the races because he's silenced. Looks like he's still gonna chase. They might be able to bring down Rizel. The second race is hard to connect because he's still somewhat far away, but now the Shackles will ensure that this Dragon Knight ends up going down and Pod picks up that one.
So the Dragon Knight did something cute, and I don't know why. He had his boots in his backpack, and I think that he toggled it into his main inventory towards the end, and I think it gave enough, just a little bit of room to work with for the Shadow Shaman to get those secondary shackles off, because the Shaman, he isn't fast, right? He's a slow. Which is needed, but he did catch up, get the secondary set of shackles, and even if he didn't get that additional shackle, you did have Misery Signals on the Vengeful Spirit with enough mana, 10 stick charges and a mango to get off another Magic Missile.
I see. So looks like the Dragon Knight making a bit of an error there, putting his boots of speed into his backpack.
I'm not sure why he did that. He had a set of infusion drops, 1 charge on it. I think they got consumed towards the end. But just as he was dying, I clicked on him and I saw him just shift the boots into his main item slots.
Alright, you know what? I think I know what they are trying to do. You see, when people die, they, and especially when they die in front of other people, there's a good chance that they may have their items stolen. So Dragon Knight doesn't wear his boots, just keeps it hidden inside his body, and when he respawns back with the boots,
Ah, okay.
It's the good old, you don't steal from me even though I'm dead thing.
Absolutely. Both supports though have smoked up on the side of Buriza Youth.
Yeah, I mean, there's an ancient apparition sitting invis in the mid lane, and looks like Shadow Fiend might just bear the brunt of it now. He's gonna get gone upon by the Dragon Knight, but he has a few one charges that may not help him survive. Ryzel doesn't have breathe for another 1 second. He's gonna get X'd up. Is the shackle gonna be there? Yes, it is. Shadow Fiend turns around, gets the kill, but falls himself as well. HN6 might be in some trouble, ends up falling as well. So 2 quick kills going the way of the supports of Buriza Youth. What should have been a quick, clean kill ends up going the way of Buriza Youth. In fact, they pick up 2 kills on the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a mid laner, your 4 or 5 position is your dance partner, right? And Ancient Apparition just having 2 left feet, he should have noticed that the Breed Fire was on cooldown, and that should have ideally been them getting the Shadow Fiend and maybe trading his support. Also, Ancient Apparition did have the invis. Okay, look.
Oh yeah,
so he could have waited.
The bottom lane. Looks like Luna might be in some trouble here. Has a lot of move speed though. Is gonna pop the Exploit. Tries to turn around on the Ancient, on the Vengeful Spirit in fact, but the Vengeful Spirit is gonna end up surviving. Shadow Fiend comes and cleans up.
Yeah,
that's a weird rotation. I didn't expect the Shadow Fiend to be there for this fight, but anytime now, actually securing kills for his team in this early game. What do you think is the ideal build for the Abaddon to go for this game? Do you think he goes Radiance? Do you think he gets himself items like the Pipe, the Solar Crest? What's he looking at here?
This game on the Abaddon, I think he gets a hood. Because early on, a lot of the damage, a hood in the pipe, early on a lot of the damage from the side of Cullies is primarily magical. There isn't too much magic, physical damage to worry about. So I think he probably builds a hood. Honestly, I've seen Abaddon sort of start to fall off. I'm not against the idea of getting a Midas.
As a wand on the Mango is going to go on to the Bat Rider and Omni Slash chops him up.
Oh yeah.
Awakening. Finding another kill for himself. I think it's important he finds these kills because he's had a rather bad early game in all honesty. I mean, not the best lane for a Juggernaut to be in, and because he went for the second point in Healing Ward at level 3, he didn't even have enough damage to kill the Night Stalker and he got turned around, so sort of setting him back, but it's really crucial that every single time he uses Omni Slash, he sort of finds a kill.
I think the one who's struggling is Ryzel in the mid lane on the Dragon Knight.
Oh yeah.
Really starting to fall behind in the net worth department. Things are not looking good for Ryzel here.
Yeah, I think one little cute trick that you can do as a Dragon Knight to survive against a Shadow.
Up top.
Oh, hold that thought. Up top, looks like Bat Rider's gonna end up falling again. TP's in, but TP's into his death, and now the dwarves have also been dropped, so the tier 1 tower is gonna go for the way of Buriza Youth. Mid lane, though, while I'm talking about this, Abaddon is gonna get gone upon as well. Does have the ulti though, so should be fine. Pops it, starts running towards falling slowly, but since he's not getting hit, he's not recovering any HP, and that's the end of that gank attempt. Cullies just losing heroes all over the map, trying to bring the Abaddon down, but the Abaddon, well, he has an ulti, pops it, and just be's alright.
Yeah, it's okay.
So the Shadow Fiend, he's gone for his drums early on. I was going to recommend something for the Dragon Knight, and this is something that you can do in your pubs too. If you're against the Shadow Fiend...
Oh yeah, the little trick on the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, you get yourself a Brazier, get yourself Raindrops, and that Shadow Fiend will never be able to triple raise you.
Really?
Yeah, you just get yourself a Brazier, a Betrayal.
Are you saying in the early levels or even a maxed out
raise? I mean, you can just, like, instead of finishing power treads, if you feel like you're not able to last it well, you get yourself the boots, you usually have the soul ring, you pick up the bracer, and the Shadow Fiend can't triple raise you. He's almost always gonna need a rotation to kill you. And looks like the rotation might be in the works of Buriza Youth, but Ryzel is gonna back off wisely.
Yep. I think the best move that Buriza Youth can do right now is wait for the Mass Serpent Wards to come off cooldown and start pushing down mid. They've already taken 2 tier 2 towers early on. I know that tower bounty's been nerfed, but that is a lot of map control.
Oh yeah, map control is something that is so underrated in Dota. I feel even if towers gave you like 50 gold, they would still be pushing lineups and they would still be deathball kind of lineups just because of map control. That's what towers are known for. Tower goes down, you don't have a place to TP to, suddenly your allies can't defend you if you're in that area. And speaking of defense, Dragon Knight might be needing some because there are multiple heroes eyeing him down in the mid lane. Juggernaut goes forward, has the Omni Slash, does pop it, Shackles is gonna get found by the Shadow Shaman with the help of the Vengeful Spirit. Ancient Apparition comes and pops the Ice Blast. Looks like the Vengeful Spirit may go down, but it's still, at the end of the day, a mid laner for a support, not a trade favoring the Cullies. Shadow Shaman survives despite dropping really, really low. And Cullies bleeding early on.
Yeah, they are indeed, and I think Buriza Youth are going to be okay with that. They wouldn't be too pleased about giving up their top tier 1 for really nothing in exchange. I think I mean it was quite obvious, right, that Buriza Youth had taken the other 2 towers. They've been actively pushing. They're going to look towards the mid lane. There is a Radiant Observer ward though on the high ground close to the Radiant Ancients. You got it, Floki?
Wait, near the Radiant Ancients? Yeah, I got it.
I'm drawing over it. Yep.
Wait, okay,
There's a battle in the mid lane. I think you should catch that.
Well, a battle in the mid lane is looks like it's gonna go for the way of Buriza Youth, but the Batrider jumps in, has a blink, finds the lasso. Anytime now, pops his ultimate. Luna as well popping her ultimate. He's gonna get swapped back into the waiting arms of Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend picks up that kill, but rises from the low ground, trying to bring down the Shadow Fiend. Is gonna stay alive for a little while longer. Looks like Cullies is not the fight for you, despite having the good lasso. You're gonna have to back off because the healing water is kicking in. And now, Rizel just might end up going down. He's not had a good time in his lane and he is gonna end up falling. Anytime now, picks up a triple kill on his Shadow Fiend. A messy engagement, but an engagement that ends up favoring Buriza Youth. They lose the Shadow Shaman, but they end up finding 4 kills in return. I think the Ancient Apparition respawned.
So I think what Cullies have got to resign themselves to is that, guys, we're still not good enough to take on a 5v5 team fight. We're still struggling. Maybe we find isolated pickoffs with the Batrider.
Well, Misery signals. He wanted to go on the Night Stalker, but looks like the Predator might just turn into prey, and indeed he will. Misery signals. It's gonna get shielded up though by Banshee and is gonna be alive for now. Shadow Fiend even throws out a raise, intimidates the Night Stalker, and does end up falling back.
Yeah. He's picked up a Shadow Blade 15 minutes in, which is really good timing, and I mean he can just keep moving into the jungle, find the stray support, punish them. I also like how Buriza Youth have been forcing this Dragon Knight to fight early. But the thing about a Dragon Knight is, although he's not greedy per se, he wants at least that first item of his. And I'm not saying just the drums. He needs that blink or a Shadow Blade, and he needs levels.
Yeah, he needs an initiation item.
Exactly. They've been forcing Rizel to fight, and Rizel comes to these fights without having completed any item. Every time he comes to a fight, he ends up dying, and he gets further and further away from that one key core item. He's going for the armlet, which up top.
The Luna might be in some trouble. The Omni Slash upon her, along with the Magic Missile, and she should end up dropping. Is not the most tankiest of heroes. Well, for a moment it looked like she could survive, but the last right click from Vengeful Spirit secures the kill.
Yeah, they also attacked the shrine, so they haven't got that working for them.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Rizel is going for the armlet, which, I mean, I can sort of somewhat understand, considering that you got the Batrider for a source of initiation. You got the Night Stalker who's going to keep running in, but you still want to build something like a Blink, or maybe in this game a Shadow Blade into a Halberd, just to disable the Abaddon's ultimate from kicking off.
Well, looks like Buriza Youth is showing no signs of slowing down, will head into the rush, but even dropping the wards. And Cullies, they have no idea that this is going on, but looks like the Batrider might just scout it out. Has a Firefly in another 3 seconds, but it may be a bit too late. Does throw out the Molotov. Is it going to find Roshan? Nope, it's not going to find Roshan. The Aegis will... Wait, the Aegis is still on the ground. They can't seem to pick it up. What the hell is going on? The Masked Serpent wards are actually blocking the Aegis.
I can see the Aegis, and I think the Shadow Fiend should be picking it up anytime now. But Banshee on the Abaddon on the high ground, he's still got that borrow time, which can proc. So it's going to buy his team a little bit of space in this team fight.
Batrider blinks and snatches the Aegis of the Immortals. What a big play coming out from You Can't Beat It, and now the Shadow Fiend is going to be in trouble. He's going to get the cold feet upon him. He's dropping fairly low, might just end up falling, but on the backlines, Seal picks up a double kill for himself, pops his invis and manages to run away somehow. And Cullies suddenly coming out on top of that engagement, stealing that Aegis on the back of the Batrider. What a huge play coming out from You Can't Beat It.
Absolutely, that was insane.
Yeah, I mean,
that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah,
I think Buriza are either going to be a bit disappointed that they took so long to pick up the Aegis. It's I can understand. Oh wait, what?
Wait,
They're
Batrider? He's just gonna jump in. There's no Omni Slash on the Juggernaut, so he's just gonna try to spin, but Batrider with the Firefly, he's gonna be fine. Nothing stopping him from teeping out, unless the swap is there from the Vengeful Spirit. Nope. Too late on the Wave of Terror. Batrider gets out. Yeah, so you were telling me something, Vivek. I
mean,
didn't quite catch that.
Pages snatches. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a it's a moment of chaos kind of thing, and whoever just spams right click harder gets it a lot of times, and obviously you gotta have
top lane. Shadow Fiend from the invis might just find the Luna. Luna surviving on barely any HP, but the Mask of Madness armor reduction along with the presence of the Dark Lord, making sure that Shadow Fiend picks up the kill.
And that is why you buy drums. He popped a drum charge just to get that last auto attack.
Oh god. Yeah, so maximum
down bottom though.
Oh, down bottom, what's happening? I hear a swap somewhere. Looks like it is on the Night Stalker who's been turned into a chicken. But now the Batrider shackled up. The Omni Slash comes through doing so much work. Batrider as well as the Night Stalker falling for Cullies. And this early game not going the way for them at all. Juggernaut, well, looks like he's going to find the Battle Fury in the back of this. And indeed, has the money for it, should pop it. Well,
yeah, should get it. But look at this, Buriza Youth, they didn't get Aegis, but this hasn't broken them. A lot of teams rely on getting an early Roshan just for that little bit of boost in confidence. When they end up not getting it, they're kind of rethinking their moves. But Buriza Youth instead, they've applied a fair amount of pressure. Mid, they find themselves 2 kills. Bottom, they find the bottom tier 2 in the mid tier 2. It's been brought down to less than half HP. Good stuff coming out from Buriza Youth. They've got themselves a 4,000 net worth advantage. And Cullies, they've got to start finding more pickoffs with this Batrider.
Yeah, I mean, the Batrider, he's trying his best, but there's only so much he can do. It's only a Batrider, for God's sake. It's not something like a huge damage-dealing hero who can win you team fights all by himself. You still need the damage to come in from Zeal. You still need the Dragon Knight to be able to control and survive through the burst damage that Buriza have in the Omni Slash and the Shadow Fiend. And only then can you look to really win a team fight if you're Cullies. I think a lot is going to come down to when they finish their BKBs for Cullies. If they find it early enough, they might just be able to fight. But the Juggernaut finishes Battle Fury now, and once Jug has a few items, you reach that point where even if you pop the BKB, you're not going to be safe because Omni Slash pierces spell immunity.
Oh yeah.
So that's always going to hurt. Also have to make sure that you don't get hexed and shackled up by the Shadow Shaman because, well, then your BKB is going to be absolutely useless.
Absolutely. I mean, the Luna, she's trying to farm. She's building into a Manta style, which I'm not sure is the best item. I don't know. I honestly don't mind something defensive here. A Lincoln Sphere maybe. But
okay. Let's talk about vision.
Items? Vision? Okay.
Well, so top lane you can see that Cullies have a ward and it is scouting out a little bit, but it's not scouting out enough. The Luna doesn't have access to her own jungle and you can't beat it in the bottom lane. Once again, it's just gonna end up falling. He's trying to push these waves out at the cost of his life, but his team is not able to find anything else on the map. Just as I say that, up top, falling slowly, he's gonna end up falling quickly and awakening. He's gonna find that kill once again with the Omni Slash. So this Juggernaut, despite having a bad start, is finding kills every single time Omni Slash is up. Wait, Luna, you have to be careful. There is a swap available onto Awakening. No, wait, that's Misery Signals. My bad.
Yeah, that's a level 2 swap as well, so he's got that extra range to work with. Buriza Youth, they're just controlling the map, dictating the tempo of the game, and if you're Cullies, you want to find them when they split up, find pickoffs, and not get picked off.
I mean, it's
look at this, HN6.
Yeah, oh wait, I hear a BKB on the backline. Anytime now, he is gonna end up finding the kill on HN6, but he might just pay for it with his life. No, he doesn't. The swap coming down from Misery Signals in time. He pops the ultimate, forces Cullies backwards, but Abaddon still rushing in like a man. Doesn't give 2 hoots about the lineup of Cullies. Shadow Shaman in the meanwhile is gonna end up dropping somewhere. I don't know where exactly. Banshee though, still staying alive through all this, still has the shield going through him, but he still might end up going down for now, and looks like he will. With the Spirit Vessel upon him, does end up falling, and Misery Signals is going to get cleaned up as well. So at the end of the day, Cullies, they actually lose the tower, they lose HN6, but they managed to find 3 core kills. I mean, 3 crucial kills.
2 supports and 1 kill. But yeah, the Abaddon, I mean, he accepted his fate. He said, guys, I'm going to die, just let me, but no. Misery Signals, feeling a strong sense of camaraderie with his offlaner, just goes in and dies as well.
Oh yeah, you live together, you die together.
I think anytime now, he did his thing on the Ancient Apparition, popped his BKB, got swapped. And as soon as he got swapped, he didn't hesitate for a second. He was like, guys, I'm out of here. And he ditched the rest of his team. The Juggernaut, not really sure what he ended up doing, but Misery Signals didn't get the memo. Wanted to hang around with his offlaner. And both of them, they didn't really get too much done other than feeding away a couple of kills. But they've taken a tier 2 tower, which is huge. And if you're Cullies, if you're the Ancient Apparition, you want to keep dropping all those sentries, getting as many D-wards as possible. He has 600 gold on the Ancient Apparition. I am not opposed to him buying 6 more sentries with that. I insist that he buys 6 more sentries with that. It's not that Buriza Youth have got a lot of life-threatening vision in any sense, but hold on. Anytime now pops his BKB.
So I see that. He's gonna get lassoed back onto the cliff, so looks like he's gonna be staying there for a while, but no. Vengeful Spirit comes and swaps, and Batrider is gonna eat a magic missile, but survives on a silver of HP, and now Vengeful Spirit is gonna pay for it with his life. Seal, he's trying to find the Shadow Fiend, but he has the invis, and there's no detection once again, and it looks like somewhere the Batrider ended up falling as well. That was a kill going the way of Misery Signals.
I think I know what that was. That was the Vengeful Spirit.
Oh yes, I was confused.
Haunting the Batrider even in death.
Well,
so the Batrider was at like 10 HP, and even I assumed he lived, but I think as soon as the Vengeful Spirit died, it was the Batrider who killed her, and he was in the vicinity and just got beat down by a ghost.
Well, if you look at the vision from Buriza Youth, it is very aggressive vision. They have deep wards inside the jungle.
Wait, what? They just have one near the Dire offlane, near the Radiant offlane secret shop.
No. They have one near the strong camp as well on the side of Radiant, if you look at it.
Okay, I missed that,
Yeah. So, deep wards by Buriza Youth, helping them fight aggressively early on. And Buriza Youth, I mean, every single time they have Shadow Shaman Ultimate, they're just gonna go to a tower, drop their wards, and that's the end of the story for Cullies. I mean, you don't really have an answer. At that point, you're really hoping your Luna has some farm, possibly something more than just a Mask of Madness, Dragonlance, and Yasha, so that she can take those wards down and make sure that Buriza Youth are not able to push. But it's just not happened. Zeal hasn't found the space on his Luna this game to be an unstoppable force, and you can clearly see it. He's queued up as BKB next, has Dragonlance, Yasha, Mask of Madness, but he still might just be a little too squishy because the Juggernaut, he's racking up that physical damage. He's going for the Mantis style next, so that's going to grant him a bit more attack speed. There's also the bonus damage coming in from the Vengeful Spirit Vengeance Aura, which enables the Juggernaut to sort of stand and man-fight the Luna a lot harder.
Yeah.
So a lot of raw physical damage output from the side of Buriza that Cullies might have to address. Maybe something like an Assault Cuirass towards the 35-40 minute mark wouldn't be too bad for the Dragon Knight. Just look to cover up his team's weaknesses. And Buriza Youth, they look like they have a plan. I mean, they're booing around Roshan. I'm not sure if they scouted it out yet, but Roshan is up. So Buriza Youth could go for that. But looks like they have better plans. They are eyeing up the Night Stalker who has a dust. Oh, anytime now. He's going to actually end up popping his ultimate. He's only going to find the Night Stalker who is going to fly over the trees. He still popped his BKB and is trying to find the kill on the backlines. Luna is going to be able to TP out. Batrider, well, he's going to be able to get away as well as BKB gets popped by Buriza Youth. But all they find is a Night Stalker. Perhaps not the best BKB usage there. Maybe if he pulls out the ulti, he could have...
a kill is a kill. They take what they can get. And I think just finding these key kills, especially when Roshan is up, is huge for Buriza Youth. Now, if the Cullies want to contest, they're missing the Night Stalker, although he's just got enough gold for his buyback.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they can
Another thing that I want to point out is I'm not a fan of this BKB pickup on the Luna.
Okay. What do you think she should have gone for instead, then?
I think a Lincoln Sphere.
A Lincoln Sphere? Is that for
so
the
the Requiem, I know that the damage reduction pierces spell immunity. I think the damage also pierces spell immunity, if I'm not mistaken.
No. The damage from Requiem does not. Only the part where it lowers your movement speed and your...
And the damage reduction.
Damage reduction, yes.
Exactly. So is he... I don't know. He's building a BK... I don't know. I think
he's gonna need both of them, and BKB is gonna get popped. He turns around on the Wench, pops his ultimate, but the Vengeful Spirit has a haste, and she's just gonna be able to run away. Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast flying through is not gonna connect, and now Abaddon turning things around. Has the shield, has the borrow time, is gonna pop it, dispels the cold feet. Luna still running away with the Mask of Madness, while Ancient Apparition gets shackled on the backline and cleaned up. And now the Luna might just suffer the same fate. She did get gone upon by Misery Signals. Misery Signals has a swap to cancel a TP. Banshee hot on his tail to tags him with the Curse of Awareness, and Awakening comes in, cleans up. So once again, Buriza used...
Up top, they're running down the Bat Rider.
Yeah, they're running down the Bat Rider. BKB is pop, but looks like Shadowfiend might just end up falling for this one. He is going to get lassoed up, falling slowly, has a silence as well as the Void. There is a Spirit Vessel upon him too, but the Shadowfiend, he has an Aegis, so he doesn't really care if he ends up dying, but he does pop his Silver Edge.
He could have held on to that Silver Edge, but
yeah,
okay.
Now looks like falling slowly might just be able to turn around. Pops the sun, but he's dropping fairly low, so he's going to have to back off. And
look
like
at bottom.
Oh god, bottom once again. They have a swap onto the Dragon Knight, the Omni Slash upon him as well. He's dropping really low. Looks like he might just end up falling here. Spin upon him as well. Ryzen surviving on a silver of HP. Is able to get himself back to the fountain. But Cullies, they're not able to punish this. You still have the Shadow Shaman shackling up the Night Stalker from God knows how long range. But finally, looks like he might pay for it with his life. But nope. Okay, wait. Dragon Knight is going to jump in. Makes the Shadow Fiend, makes the Shadow Shaman consider his decisions. While Juggernaut is going to clean up on the Night Stalker. So at the end of the day, Cullies do pick up a kill, but they lose their Axe, they lose the Night Stalker, and only find a measly Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, they could have lost more, and anytime now he's looking for an opportunity.
What the hell is he doing? Oh goodness, that was close. So the Dragon Tail didn't connect because he walked out of the sentry range just in time, and that actually that actually cancelled the projectile from connecting. Miss those old days when the Dragon Knight Dragon Tail wasn't a projectile and an instant stun. Well, the range track still standing at a silver of HP. 6 HP remaining on it, so even one melee creep could take it down.
Yeah, I think what I really saw come into play in that previous fight is just how much damage this Juggernaut can output with just a Valkyrie and a Manta style. I think he brought down the Night Stalker, but Ancient Apparition just in the cleave was nearly brought down as well. And yeah, I still don't see how they control this Juggernaut. Sure, they've got the lasso, but they're 2 saves from the lasso. You got the Aphotic Shield, which dispels the lasso, and you got the swap as well.
Yeah, wait, the Shadowfiend is eyeing up the Ancient Apparition, pops his BKB, finds the kill. Anytime now, really rubbing it into the skin of Cullies at this point, and Cullies are not liking it. You can see it. I mean, every single time they try to farm out, the Shadowfiend just pops out, kills the support, and Cullies start running scared. You can't beat it. You did get tagged, but no swap.
I think when you're playing against a team that's so coordinated in how they move for structures, you gotta pick them off before they group up.
Oh, I hear an Omni Slash on the bottom lane. Looks like it is on to the Bat Rider. Bat Rider ends up falling. Anytime now picks up that kill. Falling slowly might die as well, but the phase boots keeps himself alive. But this just opens up things for the Dragon Knight, and the Dragon Knight is gonna end up falling. 68 seconds, no buyback, and now the Lola is in trouble. Pops a BK, but ends up falling, and GG is gonna get called. Cullies, they've had enough. And Awakening, despite that bad start, beyond godlike on his Juggernaut, Shadowfiend as well. I mean, Buriza youth. They've certainly done their homework, and we can see it. The Cullies, well, they didn't have a good time at all. The Dragon Knight not doing too well in lane, struggling to find farm across the map.
I think there's a very easy way of breaking down this game, right? So Cullies, they had a good laning phase. They killed the Juggernaut a bit. But then Buriza just found these pickoffs. They found tier 1 towers for free. I like the fact that the Cullies decided to see what happens if they all 5-man and defend mid. And they did that with the Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider. That didn't work out. That's okay. It's not the end of the game. But you gotta find pickoffs before Buriza just come grouping up for your structures. And see, I think that fight was very telling of this game for Cullies. You fight as 5, you fight with the Bat Rider's Blink, the Bat Rider who's been outdrafted by an Abaddon and Avenge. You take that fight to test the waters. You see that this isn't a fight that you can win at this stage. Maybe an item can change the outcome of these fights. But till then, you got to ensure that you don't get picked off. If you keep getting picked off to a Shadowfiend, if you keep getting picked off every now and then, there's not much you can do. And Buriza youth, phenomenal stuff coming out from them. Really liked how they kept moving for objectives. Beautiful Dota to end the day at the ESL India Premiership. That's it, folks, as far as the Dota 2 broadcast is concerned. But the broadcast isn't done just yet. We're going to throw it over to the panel. I think it's Wagish and Angela. They'll take you through the rest of the day.
Alrighty then, this is a Buriza youth kind of a day and a Buriza youth kind of a game.
Brilliantly played by them.
Yeah, indeed. Angie, please break down the game.
If I have to break down this game, first of all, Buriza Youth, they kept that push running for them. And I think that at the end of the day, that is what really counts. The way they played it was out of pure experience. They kind of made sure that if their draft was completely an early game draft, they stuck to that. They made sure that the gangs were on point. And Cullies really didn't have the opening to really farm out there and get anything for themselves on the map. And that is how a team that wants to really finish a game in 20 minutes has to play. Otherwise, if this game would have gone another 10 minutes, say Buriza Youth would have been like, you know what, let's just take a break. We have taken Royale, let's just go get some farm and come back. This would have gone into a 45-minute game. But Buriza Youth, reason they're sitting fourth on the board, they are making sure they're going to leave no stone unturned. And through this, I can also say that they are studying each team they play against. We saw in the draft also that they kind of banned out all the heroes they were sure that Cullies could use to get themselves to victory. And that is what the difference is between an experienced good team and between a team that who has really not studied much about who their opponents are and can get wrecked against it. If I have to put Cullies and Buriza, they both are equally experienced, skilled teams.
True.
But it comes down to how much you studied your team, how well you can outplay them, and at the end of the day, how patient you can be with a 5-man squad. And Buriza Youth today did that. So I think they should feel really happy for themselves. I think between Buriza and Buriza Youth, they are both getting exceptionally better and better with every passing day.
Indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that sums up today's edition, the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Season Masters. I was going to say Masters Finale. Jeez, already kicked about the LAN finale. Summer Season Masters League there. We'll be back again tomorrow with more Clash Royale, Dota and CSGO. But for today, this is all we have for you guys from this desk. Remember, all of this has been brought to you by Omen, by HP, HyperX and Intel, and presented by Norton Gaming and ESL. I'm your host, Vagish Gotslebhan.
And I'm Sarah Angela Gonzalez.
And we will be seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. If you don't want to miss us, please subscribe the subscribe button and that bell icon button. Remember. Cheers.